Hey there, hi there, ho, ho, ho there. What's going on, everybody? Brand new edition of the Hockey Happy Hour coming at you. Because it's 8:30 on Tuesday night. Where else are you going to be? You're going to be here with us. We got live reactions coming up at 9 o'clock of the Flyers and the Avalanche, round two. And then we're going to talk a little bit of Chuck Fletcher tonight as well. We got a lot going on that. So we're going to hit that like. You're going to hit that subscribe. You're going to tell your friends. So they're going to do the same thing. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get started here. We're going to talk some pucks. So let's do it.
Oh my God! I'm embarrassed! He's flying!
Welcome in. It's almost time.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new edition of the Hockey Happy Hour, only on A2D Radio and powered by the doc. That is Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, with 2 locations in Burlington and Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Check out our doc. Make them yours. SpecializedPhysicalTherapy.com. You're once again cursed with me, Rob Povia, hosting tonight's festivities. Matt Tassuti is off this week, but thankfully I'm joined by the great Brian Daly and Brad Ryer. A lot to discuss tonight, gentlemen. We got news and notes from around the league, a killer shootout segment to close the show, as well as live reactions once the Flyers Avalanche drop the puck at 9 p.m. Eastern. First, we want to know, how hot is Chuck Fletcher's hot seat? Tonight's poll is brought to you by Bellagio's Bread, located in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, home of the best stuffed breads, tomato pie, sandwiches, cutlets, and meatballs. You mentioned A2D Radio for 10% off your in-store purchase. And the poll is, Chuck Fletcher will make a major roster move. Agree or disagree? I guess it'll be based on how hot that hot seat is. Bri?
No, absolutely. And, you hear it through the grapevine, through the media, through social media, wherever. Flyers fans are clamoring for this guy to hit the bricks, but Flyers still see something in him. They think that he can still turn this around. I kind of think he can still turn this around. I still have a little bit of faith left in Chuck. And I think a lot of that is going to ride on one man in Boston College right now by the name of Cutter Gauthier. I think he can probably save, not that you're going to see him this year, obviously, but I think he may be able to save Chuck Fletcher's job.
That would be interesting. I mean, I mean, personally, when I read this poll, I was like, I had the same reaction that I've had the whole time around. People are clamoring for his job, but this is a team that's not supposed to go anywhere, right? As long as you're seeing improvement on the ice, as long as you're seeing, that hunger and compete that we did not see last season, which we are seeing this season, even in their tough stretch, losers of 3 in a row, 5 of their last 6, but they've been in each game against some pretty stiff competition. I mean, we're going to be seeing the Avalanche twice within a 9-day period. And, Vegas Golden Knights, we had them maybe finishing a little lower in the standings, but they arguably have not only Rookie of the Year candidate, but potentially MVP of this league, and Logan Thomas playing lights out between the pipes. And that was a 2-1 game that had to go to overtime. So we're getting the goaltending behind us. Okay, the goaltending slipped a little bit. I think we'll talk about that over the course of the show quite a few times out in the desert, quote unquote, in their college stadium. But that's the last taste that's in our mouth. So people are clamoring for Chuck Fletcher's job. I don't know. Personally, I think like the hot seat is never going to get too hot, whether he makes a major roster move or not. If you want to define major roster move as trading, potentially something as someone as who's been as key for this team as Travis Konechny, one of the veterans with an expiring contract, and JVR, I agree to that. But other than that, you're not going to really. The Flyers are who they are right now.
And that's great that I'm glad you took it that way, because I kind of made it vague on purpose. Because I want to see what other people kind of interpret this as a major roster move. What's a major roster move to you? You just said it. Maybe moving a TK, maybe a Provorov at the trade deadline, moving some major pieces. Maybe somebody sees it as a JVR. For me, it's I interpret it as kind of similar to how you are. It's what moves can they make to really free up some cap space, which is only going to go up apparently $1.5 million next year. So you're not going to get a ton of space for next year. Or is it, you're going to see maybe a TK moved. Maybe, you're definitely going to see JVR moved. You're going to see probably Justin Braun moved. I know Edmonton's out there looking for defensemen to solidify that back end, because they have $1 million piece of shit back there that doesn't do anything. In Darnell Nurse, because he's the most overrated defenseman. Most overrated defenseman.
He's horrible.
He is terrible. So, to me, it's that. Like, that's my major roster move, because, in order for this team to go forward, you got to get some of these guys out of the way. And some of these contracts are going to be hard to move. And now that you're looking at things like, you got JVR, who's in the last year of a deal. He's probably going to go. Kevin Hayes is going to be a tough one. And I read a rumor on Puck Empire on Instagram saying that maybe a buyout for him is inevitable, which is really kind of funny that they're putting that out now, because he's having one of the best seasons as a Flyer this year. Riddle me that one. I'm not sure, but to me, I agree. I think he is going to make a major roster move. Jesus Christ, the Ducks are now down 4-0.
He's definitely played closer to that first year on that contract, now healthy, coming out of the core surgery, now putting, a tough loss of his brother behind him, trying to move forward the best that you can as possible. Swoopy always chiming in. As always, first commenter of the night. That's brought to you by Gleason's Bar, located at 6700 Mill Creek Ave in Levittown, PA. Once again, if you use promo code A2D, you get 10% off your order whenever you dine in, take out, or order online, which you can do at Gleason'sBarandSteaks.com. Swoopy chiming in. Let's get to whoever thinks Chuck deserves more time is ridiculous. I'm not going by his draft picks. He hasn't done anything good. He hasn't made any great roster moves. The signings have been foolish too. You're right, Ryan. He's come from an organization that accepted mediocrity and sort of brought almost that counterculture, if you will, to Philadelphia for the Flyers. But I just don't see the hot seat being too hot yet, when not much is expecting of the team. Now, Brian made a good point that, let's say he doesn't make some of these major roster moves that we're discussing. If he doesn't free up the cap to be able to have this team continue to rebuild in the next year, now that's an administrative fail that could certainly give him the axe.
Yeah, and for me, that's what it is. Like, I think he deserves a little more time. Call me foolish. I don't care. I don't give a shit. For some of you that are, following the show for a while, I really don't care about catching flack. Here's the thing, though. I think Chuck Fletcher is catching some unfair flack the last couple years, because this roster hasn't been 100%. I said it last week. The injuries to this core players, it's huge on this roster. We've said it all. We've said it last season. We're saying it this year. Brad's been saying it. We're not going to know what this team is truly built to be until this team is 100% healthy. They need Couturier back. Ellis, we obviously know what's up with Ryan Ellis. Potential maybe career-ending injury. We don't really know a whole lot yet. Atkinson isn't back yet. It's tough for me to fully blame Fletcher on this roster because, one, of what Hextall handcuffed him into. Two, just injuries. Like, I get it's a part of the game and it sucks. It's probably the worst part about this game is players getting hurt. But, we haven't seen this. We haven't seen this team at 100% in 2 years. And to Rob's point, yeah, this team isn't built to succeed. And they're kind of overachieving right now. Yeah, we're seeing better play from guys like TK. We're seeing Hayes playing a lot better. We're seeing some guys really starting to buy into Tort's system. And I think Torts is the guy for this roster right now. It's tough when you're handcuffed with the salary cap. You're handcuffed, with guys with no movement clauses and guys who are getting paid $7.5 million who probably don't deserve it. It makes it really hard to make some of these moves. So yeah, no, I don't. I absolutely think Chuck Fletcher deserves a little bit more time to see what his new draft picks are. You know, Cutter Gauthier, who's absolutely killing it in the NCAA, which means he's probably going to be on the training camp roster next year. So for me, it's continues to be see what you have, and then go from there. And to me, that if that means keeping Chuck Fletcher for another year, so be it. Let him be able to really continue to build this roster a little bit. Do I think he makes it through 2023? Absolutely not. Absolutely not, depending on how things go. But it's a tough situation for Chuck Fletcher and the Flyers. And I think a lot of it is not his fault. But again, that's my opinion.
Coming from the Rangers standpoint, Brad, I mean, how hot is this hot seat legitimately for Chuck Fletcher? Do you think he will make a major roster move for the Flyers?
I think that he's got to move some salary out without question. I don't think he's got a hot seat right now. He really can't have a hot seat. He just brought in a new coach. Okay, if you get rid of him, okay, you're going to end up having to fire Tortorella too, because as you know, a new general manager is going to want his guy to coach. So it's not going to work doing that. And really, at this point, what is another general manager going to do that that Chuck Fletcher can't do right now? I mean, they're both. If you're saying, okay, if I think that he can get more for not Fletcher, but another general manager can get more for some of the players that you're going to have to move out. Okay, I mean, maybe that's fair. Maybe it's not fair, but you know what? Right now you have to just leave everything as it is. They're not winning the Stanley Cup this year. If by some miracle of God the team makes the playoffs, they're not winning the Stanley Cup this year. Okay? And you know, if you guys have the same mentality I do, it's about winning the Stanley Cup. Okay? It's not about making the playoffs and getting blasted in the first round. Okay? It's about winning a championship and building in the right way to win a championship. And right now, there's really very little that could be accomplished by getting rid of him. Yeah, the fans are going to complain, and you know, fans are fans. They're going to complain, but you got to let the process continue right now. Okay, there's going to be a point where he's going to have to move some very popular players, and it's going to hurt. But you know what? He's going to have to do it for this team to get better. They're not for them to end up being a good team. I think it's going to take this year, next year, and after next year. I think what next year is 23-24, correct? So 24. I think they got to look at 24-25 as the year that they start really competing. And I'm not talking about being a wild card. I mean getting into the playoffs and making noise. I don't think it's fair to put it all on him right now. What is it that you want him to do? He has no cap space. Okay, his players are all getting hurt. All the veterans are getting hurt. He's trying to bring the kids in. The guy you mentioned, Brian, that's in the NCAAs right now. You may see him in March. Okay, I mean that's what the Rangers did with Chris Kreider. They waited till after Boston College won a championship, and then they brought him aboard for the last 9 games, I think, because I think the rule back then when he came in was if you didn't play more than 10 games, then it didn't hog a year of his entry level contract. So
yeah, true.
Yeah, back
and
then,
you saw the Flyers handle Noah Cates in the same fashion. Last season.
Yeah, I know it's definitely for juniors now that it's still like that with juniors, but back then, even if you were coming out of college, if you played less than 10 regular season games, you weren't burning a year of your entry level contract. It's kind of like what baseball does. So, you know, the Rangers got to bring him up early. I think it was 2013, 14. They were able to bring him up and get a good look at him. And he was absolutely spectacular, you know, I mean, and when he came up, and I think they might just actually do that. I think that would be That would be something that they could do, and it won't, as I said, it won't burn a year out of his entry-level contract.
Surely,
So
surely.
that's something that he could do. And it won't cost him too much money. And they'll have more cap space. But if I'm the Flyers, I got to try to get as much cap space and as many draft picks as I can going into next season. That's something that they have got to do. And then you can spend money like a wild man if you want to do that, and you'll
drunken
get a lot of
sailor.
you'll get a yeah okay. I didn't want to use that term, but okay. I just don't want to offend anybody who might be a sailor out there. With my luck, they'll know who I am, and they'll come over here and pound me in the head. Like all the Eagle fans want to do.
Right. Well, let me quickly give some love to Priz real quick. He's chiming in. Fletcher should go if you have someone who's aligned with Tort's view of the team and is an instant improvement over Fletcher. New GMs tend to shake things up, and that could put a new coach up. And he also goes on and says Brad stole my point. And then if you notice that there's a little insignia right near Prism 280's name, and you're just joining us, let me tell you a little bit about what that's about. That means he's a member here at A2D Radio, and you too can become an A2D member for only $9.99 a month. You get some amazing perks, including shout outs, member only shows, appearances on shows. Come on, join us any week you want. Priz has done that in the past, and you most importantly get the weekly picks from the Money Pot Podcast and Big Willie Vegas. Join today. The link's in the comments.
Sure is. But jumping off of what Brad said, and I'm going to add this to Priz here. He did the same thing with Owen Power, because he's not in juniors. He's still eligible to jump up into the NHL because he's in the NCAA. They did it with Owen Power. They did it with somebody else too. I can't remember who it was. I think JVR, when he first came in the league, they did the same thing with JVR. They brought him up. I don't think he ever signed his ELC. So I think that gives him the ability to sign the entry-level contract and essentially, if we really wanted him to, jump in at the NHL level and see what Cutter has, and just let him play it out. You might as well. You're not playing for much.
No, and that's the whole point, Brian. I mean, they look again. If the idea is to win a Stanley Cup here and not try to make a miraculous run to the playoffs, and then have to play Boston in the first round and be humiliated, that's kind of pointless for the Flyers to try to do that. You want to do that, and you got to give the guy a chance. Again, he brought in Tortorella, okay, and unless you can get one of Tortorella's buddies to be a GM, it makes no sense. You can't get rid of a coach, after like half a season or after one season when you're building a team. You just can't do that. It makes no sense whatsoever. So I would think that he's got probably till the middle of next season to start showing some improvement. So this hot seat may seem hot for the fans, but they can't be stupid enough to get rid of him that quick. I think that would be really dumb.
The one sort of legitimate reasoning for it, I saw the stat before the Coyotes game, was showing about 6 or 7 Flyers having 0 goals on the score sheet over the past 6 to 11 games. Once again, we saw a little bright spots for Morgan Frost, and he sort of dipped back into the doldrums, albeit playing a decent center ice, winning a good amount of faceoffs. Now, if you don't see players making improvements like him, like an Owen Tippett, who's been having a goose egg over the past 6 to 7 games, and you don't see improvement there, somebody's got to take responsibility of that. Do you hold it your brand new first-year coach accountable, or does it come to the GM? Seems like our commenters are siding towards blaming Chuck.
Well, again, did Chuck draft these guys?
Some of them.
Okay. They may not be ready to play yet either.
Mm.
You're bringing guys up who may or may not be ready to play yet, and you're rushing guys, and that's tough to do. A lot of these guys, you can't bring if you bring them up when they're ready, then it'll be fine. I mean, I'll give you an example. Last year, the Rangers brought up Braden Schneider, and I'm sure you guys have seen him and how good he is right now. But they waited about a year and a half for him before they brought him up. I mean that's the whole thing. You have to be patient with some of these guys. A lot of them probably really need to be in the American Hockey League, getting a little bit more seasoning. But now they're pushed into the NHL because of some of the silly moves that Hextall made, and they're learning on the go, and it's tough. It's really tough. But you got to give them a chance. You can't just look. This is the hand you're dealt right now. So you've got to let them play, and you hope. And I think I'm looking at it the way the Rangers have done it this season in the last few weeks, trying to get Lafreniere and Kakko going. Okay, they have actually put those two guys with Mika Zibanejad, and guess what? All of a sudden now they're scoring. Oh, you mean you're not putting him on the third line? You're putting him with a top center. Well,
funny how that works.
Maybe it's time to let some of these kids play with Hayes. Instead of having all veterans on a first line, there are certain things that you have to do. By the way, that goal that fourth goal that Toronto scored, that was a terrible goal.
I don't want to talk about it.
That was bad. I just saw that backhand. That was terrible.
I don't want to talk about it.
I'm sorry, but anyway, yeah, I digress.
Real quick, we're going into, I think it's 7 periods of scoreless hockey. Yeah.
Jeez.
We got shut out last night.
What happened from the promise that we saw early last season?
I don't know.
Need a different voice.
I think so. I think it's the system. I think the system is just it's run its course, and with some of the younger guys they brought up and some of the guys they brought in, it's just not working.
I can tell you who you're going to end up getting to coach
right
now.
I thought you were
I'm going to tell you right now who's going to be your coach next year. David Quinn.
I don't hate it. He was a solid coach for the Rangers.
He's really good at developing young talent.
Yeah, and that was the reason why they brought Dallas Eakins in, was for that same reason, because he was the AHL coach for most of those guys. And then you bring in guys like Vetrano and Strome and Klingberg, and you brought in a lot of different guys this year. You really shook up the chemistry in the locker room. Sometimes it just doesn't work for everybody, and the Dallas Eakins has just run his course.
Well, if you want to give Vetrano back to the Rangers, I'll take him.
Actually, talking about trading him, he's actually been surrounded by trade rumors, which is
has he really?
Oh yeah, a lot of them.
I wish we had him back. Oh my God, he was the prototypical very difficult to play against kind of guy, and he's got such a great wrist shot, and they've got guys who can screen the goalie, which I guess you guys are not screening the goalie when he shoots, because he's got a shot that can go in the net when he's got a hell of a wrist shot. Anyway, I digress. But this is some of the things the Flyers need to start doing. I mean, start putting some young guys with Kevin Hayes. Kevin Hayes is a good player.
Let it rub off.
Yeah. Sometimes you may have to take 2 steps back. The Rangers took a chance. Chris Kreider's playing with Trocheck now and Panarin. Okay, and I mean, do you really think that Chris Kreider and Mika Zibanejad wanted to be split up, so that Kakko and Lafreniere would play with Zibanejad? I don't think Zibanejad was probably too happy about that. But you know what? Now both of them are starting to play better. They've both been scoring goals during this 4-game winning streak for them. Sometimes I guess that's something that you might have to consider. And when Cam Atkinson gets back, put a couple of kids with him. These are good hockey players. Let them play with these guys and let them see what they're doing on the ice and develop a chemistry. At least this way, they're maybe they'll score and they'll get some confidence, because a lot of it is mental, especially in hockey.
For sure.
Yeah, you experience some good experiences, and you start growing from that. And I truly think that's something that they need to start doing, and that's up to the general manager to go to Tortorella and just say to him, "Hey, listen, we need to start doing this because Tortorella's job is to win games, okay? And until he's told otherwise, he's going to keep the veterans together and try to score. So that's got to be something that they have to do."
And Swoopy too, I think to your comment, I won't read it all. You saw it up on your screen before, but I think injuries too have people playing out of position as well. It goes both ways there. And when you have an opportunity, you got to take advantage of it. I'd like to see a little bit more aggressiveness there. But yeah, I mean, certainly having guys to longer term deals, blocking guys has hurt the development and this team building real chemistry together.
No, absolutely. I agree with you almost wholeheartedly here, Rob. It really kills the player's development because now you got guys coming up that aren't quite ready yet because they're filling a hole with somebody who's been hurt, i.e. Sean Couturier. You have guys coming in that, they can't get their full development. And I think that's what's happened with Morgan Frost is he came in and he filled a hole and he was just never able to fully develop. He was I want to say he was what? He was a first round pick. I think he was a mid to late first round pick for the Flyers, which they got, I think, from the St. Louis Blues, if I remember that trade correctly. And he never really, I don't think he really fully developed, which is why he hasn't been a prominent scorer that he was supposed to be coming out of juniors. There was a lot of hype around this kid, and he just never turned into anything. He's had spurts here and there, but he hasn't really turned into anything that they thought he would be, and that kind of worries me about Bobby Brink for when he gets here. He's going to wind up being a similar type of player. But yeah, and again, to Rob's point, because I know I'm getting off topic, he's another one who played out of position because of injuries and trying to find a spot for him to kind of just play and hope that he develops into something, and he never did.
Brian, Morgan Frost the other night against the Coyotes did have a goal and 2 assists. So let's see if he can carry it into the game tonight. I mean, I think he's a player to watch. Is he not?
I mean, yeah, but I'm kind of over the whole Morgan Frost experiment now. I mean,
he did show some life. I mean, that's a big game for a youngster to get 3 points in a game. I don't care who they're playing. It's still, the other team gets paid too. And, and again,
it's been another drought since though, brother.
Yeah. And listen, I'm not taking anything away from the fact that he had a huge 3-point game against a Coyotes team. And it does, like you said, it doesn't matter who it's against. It's a big deal. But
that's a big deal for a young player like him.
I mean, he's been up here.
Points is a lot.
Yeah. I'm going to look this up so I can get the stats right. But go ahead and I'll look this up real quick. So
I'm going to give a little love to a comment. I think this might be my favorite comment from David Roska of all time, and that's Mike Babcock should come back to the Ducks to coach. I fucking love that. I'm a fan of. I'm a Babcock guy. I know it's rare, but I thought he'd be good for your team.
No, I mean he's already been there, done that. We've already tried that with Randy Carlisle. We had nothing from it, but
gotcha.
So Morgan Frost, real quick, has played 105 career games in the NHL. He only has 33 points. Right. He was supposed to be this big time scorer when they drafted him. They expected him to score goals, create offense.
How old is he?
23. And I know he's still got a little ways to go. I mean, he's about to hit his prime in about 2 years. So still, you still want to see a little bit more out of somebody who was hyped like that coming out of the draft.
So let's see if maybe he can go on a hot streak. I mean, listen, who's the other guy? Tippett had a pretty good game too, didn't he? Have 2 points.
Yeah, he had a goal and an assist to accompany Morgan Frost's goal and 3 assists in that game. So,
I mean, those are positive signs out of some of your young players. Let's see what they can do tonight against Colorado. I mean, Colorado is not the Colorado that won the Cup last year right now.
Letting up a lot of goals, really leaky right now.
Well, they also have a leaky goalie. I told you that a long time ago when they got Georgiev. You know, he's who by the way, we in that shootout in the shootout when the Rangers beat the Avalanche the other night, Artemi Panarin just made him look silly. And that was just so great to see that because he was so bad. You know, you would think that, you know, he's probably faced this guy in penalty shots a million times over the last 4 years.
Yeah. But
they have a lot of guys banged up. I look for the Flyers to be very competitive in this game. You know,
yeah, to Robbie's point about Owen Tippett, 24 games played this year, 8 goals, 5 assists for 13 points. So he's pushing.
that's not bad.
That's half a point a game.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good.
That's good. That's like between 40 and 50 points.
Mm-hmm. Which is what you want out of a 23-year-old winger.
Yeah, no, that's what you want. I mean, I know that's probably what you want from Frost too, but you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Again, why don't you put him up why don't you put him up with Hayes or with playing with Konechny? I mean, how much can it hurt at this point?
I mean, who's Frost play with now? I know the lines are pretty much different every single night, but
yeah,
give you a little look as we make this transition into our live reactions here on the Hockey Happy Hour A2D Radio. First period was brought to you by eXp Realty. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, looking for a change in career or brokerage, contact Alan Foyer of eXp Realty LLC at 302-682-8820 or visit him at alan.foyer@axprealty.com. Looking at the line combinations tonight, of course, I have to log in now. Thank you, Left Wing Lock. Didn't have to do this before. Now you have to do it now, even though it's free. But Left Wing Lock is really accurate, and these lines were updated today as of the pregame warm-up. On the first line, you're going to have Noah Cates with Hayes on the left wing and Konechny on the right. That's interesting.
There you go. Okay,
yep,
that's good. But this is what you've got to do. You got to these kids have to play. These kids have to be up, and some of these kids need to be in the top 6, right, with the best players, and see what they.
Oh, I agree. I just would have thought it would have been Hayes centering with Cates, but here's where they're trying to play the younger player in position. I get it.
Yeah, and Hayes has played left wing before. When Hayes first came to the Rangers, he played left wing.
Absolutely.
You know, then they moved him to center because they thought because he's so big that he'd be good as a center, and he is. Right. Does he still stink at faceoffs, or is he better in faceoffs now?
Better.
Better. Okay. Yeah, he was. Yeah, that was one of the reasons the Rangers ended up letting him go, because he had the Mika Zibanejad disease with faceoffs.
Yeah, still not great. It's probably better on the wing, and then they're keeping the Frost Tippett and JBR line that was so successful out in the desert.
Okay, there you go. Now you got a veteran playing with a couple of kids. Now
they're really following along your plan, right?
That's kind of what they need to do. And you know, I don't watch the Flyers all that often, so I don't know what they're doing.
Sure,
but this is what you have to do. You can't.
It's hockey sense. You have hockey sense. You know.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, you have to do that. At some point, you have to realize that your job is now to develop the kids.
Right.
Okay. Now that we're 30 games in, and there is a distinct line being drawn between the Blue Jackets and the Flyers and the rest of the division.
Sure.
So, at this point, let's at least beat the Blue Jackets, finish ahead of them, show some personal pride here and try to at least do that. And that's something that they should try to do. I mean, look, again, they don't have enough guys with experience on the team to be beating other teams in that division. They're in the toughest division in hockey, and it's just unfortunate. And God darn it, the Islanders just tied it up again.
Oof.
The freaking Bruins. They're not too happy about that. Casey Cizikas? Seriously? Casey Cizikas scored what is that? His second goal of the season? First goal of the season? First goal of the last 2 seasons?
Probably.
Oh my God. And there's 3 guys three Boston Bruins in front of the net. and he sneaks around the side and scores.
Right
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Let me give the fam the bottom six. Got Lawton centering Sedlick and McEwen. You got poor Joel Farabee down to a fourth line, playing right wing with Patrick Brown centering and Delorier on the left wing. Defense.
See, that's not going to help. That's not going to help. That's not going to help him.
It's not, but he's in the doghouse right now.
Okay,
That's
well,
why
yeah,
he's
he
there.
has. You know what? Tortorella is sending him a clear message.
Right.
That if he wants to play and if he wants to play, he's going to have to improve his play.
Got to earn it.
Because that's obvious. I mean, that's probably you were saying he hasn't been playing all that well lately. He put him on the fourth line because he's basically giving him a what do you call it, a bad dog treatment.
Right. In the doghouse, show some energy, show some life. Maybe you get moved back up. Something that Risto's shown a little bit, being paired with Provorov on the top D pairing. Cam York brought up. We announced it Brian announced it on a Hockey Happy Hour page over the weekend. Now third game in, getting a fair amount of ice time, playing alongside Travis Sanheim on the second pairing, and then Nick Seeler and Justin Braun rounding it out on the third D.
Future, please refer to him as Future Ranger once again. Justin Braun.
It's like deja vu all over again.
Yeah, we're going to end up giving you another third round pick for him, right?
We'll take it.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. Maybe we'll give you the Avalanche's third round pick instead.
Right.
It's going to be
sadly that they've needed them.
The way things are going, it's going to be a high pick. So
yeah, that's true.
Probably middle.
No, the Avalanche are still the Avalanche.
Of course they are.
NBC Sports Philadelphia Plus tonight, because I think the Sixers are on NBC Sports Philly.
This one's for you, Brad.
By the way, the Devils are trailing 2-1 to the Stars after 2.
And Anaheim, I'm sure, is still getting shut out.
Yeah, NBC Sports Philly Plus tonight, Teddy.
And
we got puck drop.
Oh, good.
And there's a stoppage at 8 seconds in. Ice the puck off the opening faceoff. That's not going to make John Tortorella too happy. He's already barking.
Oh yeah.
Wow, I'm way behind.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't had a nervous breakdown already this season, because he really does get emotionally involved. By the way, a little statistic I noticed the other day: Buffalo Sabres, I think, are second in our conference right now in scoring goals.
Yeah.
They're scoring
They slipped a little in the standings, but they've been producing.
They can score.
I've been playing them a lot in DFS.
Tage Thompson has been amazing for that offense.
Yeah, they can score. They need to improve on the back line. But you know what? Even if they don't make the playoffs, I'll tell you what, if they're scoring a lot of goals, it's just a matter of time for them. You could always find a couple of defensemen to help you out.
Real quick, Brad. They have Max Willem in on the fourth line with Brown and Delorier. I wonder if they healthy scratched Farabee from what they announced during pregame skate. The channel might have messed up too with their graphic, but I don't think so. That's further putting him in the doghouse.
They scratched him? Wow. Ooh. Ooh, that's no. Rough.
Never mind. Sorry. No, they got him playing with Lawton and Sedlick.
Oh, so they moved them up.
Yeah, they just moved them up then. That was it. Wow, look at that. I was giving some love to left wing lock and you got it wrong, you son of a bitches. Everything else bastards. Right? They're usually pretty accurate.
It's an interesting goaltender matchup tonight, though. Both backups are going for each team. So you got Sandstrom in net for the Flyers. You got Francois, or however you say his name, in for the Avalanche. I was expecting to see. I guess Carter Hart definitely could have used the time off, but
McKinnon.
They've been using him a lot, so
Right.
let's give him a night off. And interesting that they're not going with Georgiev.
Well, Georgiev would have given you a chance to win for sure.
Oof. So 8 people out for Colorado. Nathan MacKinnon, obviously, Bowen Byram.
I told you it's bad.
Gabriel
for them.
Landeskog,
Really,
Josh Manson. Yeah, those are the big ones.
They really are. I mean, they are really banged up right now. I mean, the Rangers had that graphic before the game started when they showed all the guys that Colorado had out. It was like, what? How do they win any games when you have that many guys out? That's unbelievable.
But this Avalanche
They
team
still
is
have
so deep.
They still have Rantanen in though.
Mm-hmm. They still got Rantanen. They still have
They have McCarr still.
Yeah, Cale McCarr. They still have some of their big guns still healthy, but
Oh yeah.
you know,
Oh,
when your captain's out, that hurts. And
Landeskog is a killer injury right now for them.
mm-hmm.
I mean, he's really the so-called straw that stirs the drink there.
I mean, it's good for Colorado to still be able to have pretty much their entire defense intact, which is really what, in my opinion, won them the Stanley Cup last year was that defense. So you still have McCarr, you still have Sam Girard. You know, Byram's a big one you're missing out on, but for the most part, it's still intact. I don't know if I saw Devon Taves on there. I may have. I don't remember. I'd have to look at the graphic again. But if he's still there, I mean, you got all your defensive stars intact. So that's still a good thing for Colorado.
Yeah, no, they're still. I mean, they still are. They're still very, very competitive. But you know, you're definitely catching them at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I know they still have Rantanen, and he's great. no question about that. But you know, they're having a little trouble scoring goals right now. So hopefully, you know, maybe the Flyers can get a lead on them.
Yeah.
Early, because you know, one thing about Colorado, and it's that I saw an interview with I think Gaudreau was one of the Rangers you know, guests after the first period last week when they were in Colorado. He was mentioning with the height and everything, you know, and the thin air. He said it's very hard in the first period to play Colorado because you're getting used to that altitude, and they never have any kind of an adjustment. They just, you know, they're just completely used to it. So they have a very unfair home ice advantage, especially in the first period, which is why they are able to jump on top of teams a lot.
Oh yeah.
Because even if you're a visiting team, it takes a period to really get yourself used to, you know, being out there. You just, you know, you can't go on as long shifts as they do. You can't be caught on the ice too long.
No, absolutely. And real quick, I want to address Ant's comment here. He wants to know when Justin Braun came back to the Flyers. He came back. He signed as a free agent this past offseason, Ant.
Under the radar, full of shining. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you talk about like Swoopy's comment in terms of clogging guys' spots, you know what I mean? But Zamula really didn't do too much with this spot to impress Torts. You know, he quickly got the demotion.
Yeah, he had a couple of chances up here. Not really doing much to solidify a permanent spot up here. But he's what, 21, 22?
Yeah,
he's still got a little time. He's still got a little time, yeah.
A little more time in the oven. That thermometer hasn't popped yet.
No, not at all. No, he's still got a little bacon to do.
You know, absolutely, Swoopy. I was actually looking into that, but I think unfortunately Flyers are at their limit for contracts. I don't think they could even make a move on them. I mean, unless they waived like one of their contracts, which they could have done.
I would have absolutely in a heartbeat. I was hoping Anaheim was going to grab him.
Right. What is the limit? 50? Is it? I didn't want to give a number on it, but I believe it's 50, right?
I think it's 50. I think that's the limit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's off to a kind of a slow year, but 135 games, he's got 51 points so far. He's a solid 23-year-old winger.
Yeah. High
shoot
draft
first
pick too,
mentality.
right?
High draft pick. Yep.
Yeah.
He was actually the 30th overall, taken by Nashville in 2017.
Give us your poor. Give us your castaways.
But here's the
Hey
thing.
guys, I want to go back to last week for a minute. I just turned on the Red Wings in Carolina, and they're both wearing their alternate jerseys.
Yep.
I gotta say, the Wings, as much as we hated that jersey, it doesn't look so bad with the pants.
Really?
Yeah, they wear that shirt with matching red pants. They're all red. It actually looks pretty good. I mean, they kind of look like the old Soviet Red Army.
I was just about to ask that.
Yeah, they do. They really do. And the Canes look like they're wearing the Soviet Red Army's road jerseys with the white.
So it's actually really funny you bring that up.
Commie versus commie.
Yeah.
Spy versus spy.
Yes.
So I was at Dick's Sporting Goods earlier, so I had to pick some stuff up before the show. So I was in there and I found all the jerseys. This is not a plug. This isn't a plug for them. This is a plug for something else. So I'm sitting there, I'm looking, I check out and whatever, and I go over, they got all their Canes jerseys or whatever, kind of hanging up over by the, you go through the cash register and you got all the jerseys like kind of sitting right up there. So I noticed that they had the reverse retros over there. So I went over and walked over there. That jersey is a lot better looking in person than it is on the pictures that we had up last week. That jersey is nice.
Yeah, I mean, seeing them more and more. I watched a little bit of the Tampa Bay game the other night, and I didn't realize that they have lightning bolts coming up the bottom of their sleeves. I don't think that was in that diagram that we're looking at. It's still too busy. I don't like the gray shoulder padding, but the lightning bolts are fucking fat.
Yeah, I was saying that last week. I said the same thing last week. It's just
it's hard to. It's a small picture, so.
Yeah. No, absolutely, and it's still to the point to that jersey being absolutely just way too much going on. It was. Yeah. Yeah, I actually kind of like the aspect of having the lightning bolts.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention it because I know we just crushed the Red Wings last week with that jersey, but it didn't look so bad with the pants.
Nah, not at all.
Did Carter take that up high or was that off the post?
Oh no, I'm a little behind.
Yeah, when you see it, that's why I wanted to mention something real quick. Looked like a double deflection.
And a little update: Dallas in the third period is ahead of the Devils 2-1.
Yeehaw!
8.5 minutes to go. How great would it be to see New Jersey lose their third straight?
Be very good.
I'd really enjoy
come back
that.
Down to earth.
Yeah. Reality kind of bites, doesn't it? Oh no!
I'm not surprised it's a close game. 2-1 game. Midway third period. I'm not surprised. This was definitely one of the games of the week I was looking forward to.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, the Islanders goalie, not the Islanders, the Devils goalie just made a spectacular save a couple of minutes ago with the shaft of his stick. Somebody had a shot in the front of the net, and he slid over with the shaft of his stick. He was able to block the shot. One of those sprawling type shots.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, the Devils goalie is pretty good. Who's ever playing tonight? And I'm not sure who it is.
I would assume Vanacek.
Yeah, he played the other night. Yeah, and the Devils just had a semi breakaway, and they almost scored.
Also, for those following along who was following us last week, we were talking a little bit about the Mitch Marner streak. It has been extended tonight to 23 games. And here's a fun fact for you, Robbie. I told you this earlier. Even with the 23-game point streak, Connor McDavid still leads the league in points by 14 on Mitch Marner. That's how good Connor McDavid is.
Yeah, Connor McDavid is in a class by himself.
But you would think, though, with a 23-game point streak,
well,
Mitch Marner would be.
Yeah, but he's second. That's pretty good.
But
I think Jason Robertson's in the conversation now.
No, he absolutely is.
He is.
But what I'm saying here, Brad, is this: he's still got 14 points on a guy who's got a 23 game point streak.
Yeah, that's remarkable.
That's insane.
Yeah, she's so good. I mean,
Wow.
McDavid right now is, and he has been for the last couple of years. Is so much the best player in the NHL. It's not even.
You'll like this comment, Brad.
Fair. Mitch Marner will be a Ranger soon. From your mouth to God's ears.
I would stop watching hockey.
Yeah, I don't think that's. What exactly are the Rangers? What do the Rangers have that Toronto would possibly want? Well, then I guess they do have a. They couldn't afford. They couldn't afford. The Rangers couldn't afford that. Doesn't that guy make like $8 million a year?
He's making what? He's still got a few years left on his contract too.
Yeah, I mean, what parallel universe are we in that they could even afford him? Unless of course they were nice enough to take Trouba off our hands, or or somebody like that. Oh, there's going to be a fight now. Oh yeah, I'll tell you what, they blew the whistle, and then the Devils shot the puck in the net after the whistle. That's not gonna. Oh, slash. Okay, now they stopped.
Oh, come on, Don. We got to go there. We all know they got shut out again.
Don. Just to let you know, you haven't scored any goals either tonight. So, until you're down 1-0 against Carolina. So, shh.
Oh, I just saw the score. That hurts. Oh man. Oh man.
Oh boy, you know what? The Devils got ripped off then. You know what? That puck was not under the goalie's skate. It was under the goalie's skate. It wasn't under his pad. And somebody pulled it out and scored. And the referee blew the whistle, and then somebody pulled it out and scored, and that got Dallas all pissed off. That was actually pretty funny.
I think it's time to fire I think it's time to fire Dallas Eakins. There you go. Score update for Anaheim. I don't know if y'all can see that.
4-0?
6-0.
6-0. Oh.
6-0. Ouch.
Oh.
Oof. My pride. I might have to take this off. Oy
yeah,
vey.
now you know how the Giant fans felt Sunday.
Oh, yeah. But this isn't a division rival either, which is actually really funny.
Yeah, it's like you look up in the sky and say, God, please make it stop.
I'd just score a goal. Just score a goddamn goal at this point.
Yeah.
You're going to go on two full games at least that you haven't scored a goal yet. Jesus.
Well, you know what? I was saying when it was 21-0, I was like, can you guys please just get a touchdown and not get shut out? I don't know what the final score is going to be, but just please don't get shut out. Score a few points. Make it look just ugly and not just tragic.
Yeah. Ted, I'm with you 100% on this. I know we don't always see eye to eye, but I agree with you on this one. I think Ovi does break it, and he's actually less than that now. I think he's at like 96 to break the record.
Yeah, he's got 17. He's got 17 already this year.
Yeah, he's easily going to break this record. He's just got to average. Now it's under 33 goals a season the next couple years, and he's already broken 2 of his records.
Yeah, and he's already broken the road record.
Yeah, he broke the road record, and I think he broke the empty net goal record too. I think he broke that against the Flyers.
Yeah, now Gretzky will never catch Gretzky with assists, but
nobody will.
No.
Flyers with a huge penalty kill against the Avalanche here, and what's been a fairly even start to this hockey game.
For sure, back and forth. For sure. Ovi is 3 away from 800 too, coming into tonight's game.
Oh yeah.
Right now, that game is 1-0 Capitals over the Blackhawks. Nothing on the score sheet for Ovi yet.
Yes, Anthony. The Leafs are good.
The Leafs are good, though. Yeah, we know.
Oh, correction. He's 2 away from 800. He has Capitals' second goal that just went in. 11 minutes, 40 seconds to go in the first period.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. Okay. So he's like 95 off now. 95 off the pace. It's
he's
fine.
going
He's
to
got
catch him.
this. Yeah, there's no doubt. Praise, that doesn't help me feel any better because you know what? It's the same equivalent right now. Columbus scored 2 goals. We've been shut out for 2 games straight. That doesn't make me feel any better. Ooh, yeah, that's a good comment there by Don Don.
Yeah, how do you think the Buck fans feel? Yeah, oh boy, they really got hammered
by a third string quarterback.
Yeah, well, that guy is a little bit better than your average third string quarterback, though. I gotta tell you, boy, he's come on by storm.
You mean Brock Purdy?
Purdy, he's a pretty good quarterback.
Yeah,
he's pretty good. But we'll see.
Oh yeah, Penguins are playing real good for you, Jim.
The Penguins.
What's the record in the last few games? I think it's like
they've been red hot. I think they're like
2-2.
8. They're like 8-2, aren't they?
It's a little bit better than that. I'm gonna get the actual.
Okay, I'm not looking it up. I just
no notes.
I'm
all notes.
I follow everybody, so I kind of
8-1-1.
Yeah, I don't. I don't have a life. I just follow that stuff. So,
that's 8-1-1. Why you're the professor.
8-1-1. I'm really sorry. I thought it was 8. Actually, technically, it is 8-2 because
you're right.
I'm sorry, the 1-1. That one is a loss. So
right. 8-2. You got it.
Yeah. So.
Somebody posted it. Who was it? Give me a second to find it. I follow way too many NHL things.
The Penguins are playing great, though. I think Crosby's out too, isn't he? Hasn't he been out the last couple of games? And it doesn't seem to matter.
That's all right. Jim's got me here. Hey, what's going on here? Somebody added a comment here as I was trying to click that. That's what I was looking for.
They've won right 6 in a row and are 13-2-2 in their last 17. Yeah, that's about right. That sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've been red hot, and that was without Chris Letang too. And Letang is he back or is he skating?
I think he's just skating for now. Last I saw, I haven't heard anything about him practicing yet, but that doesn't mean that it.
No, he was last game. Crosby and Letang were both skating pregame warm up.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Crosby. Yeah, Crosby was. Crosby's been out the last couple of games, though, hasn't he?
I'm not sure, honestly.
Not that I was aware of. I never really keep up with what the girls do, you know?
Yeah. Ryan Swoop says the Sens have been disappointing. Yeah, they have not been as good as advertised.
I agree.
Yeah.
Tricky little shot there. Sandstrom stuck with it. Sandstrom playing some good hockey so far. Square to the shooter tonight. Had to track that tough rebound in. It was deflected up at the high slot.
Well, we've seen, especially it seems like when the Flyers are playing, when we're watching, it seems like they play pretty well. I guess their Tuesday night record's been pretty good this year.
For the most part. It's the second period that really kills them.
Well, yeah. Well, we'll see about that though. Again, I think I think they have a shot in this game because the Avs are banged up, and Flyers are banged up too. So no excuses. That's the way it is in hockey. You're not going to have all your top players the whole season. Stuff happens.
Nah, Ted. For the most part, it's pretty much on lockdown. There's nobody playing nearly as bad as Anaheim right now. In any aspect, they flat out, they're terrible.
Rule number 76, Brad. No excuses. Play like a champion, right?
Yeah, exactly. No excuses.
Speaking of,
And by the way, the Devils, who are on their way to losing their third in a row, have now pulled the goalie with 2 minutes to go.
Nice.
So, God, I would like to see them lose 3 in a row. That'd just be perfect.
I just
Yeah,
watched recently.
I could see the two Devil fan. I could see the two Devil fans in the world starting to sweat.
Right. Yeah, one of them being David Putty. I watched that episode, the face painting episode from Seinfeld. Devils! Yeah!
You don't mess with the devil.
Oh, this is great. The Devils are pinned in their own end, and they pull the goalie.
Flyer score.
There you go.
Oh, you're ahead of me now?
Apparently.
Yeah.
7:08.
I might have paused it. Oh, yeah, I did.
Who scored?
JVR, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like JVR. Yeah, cleaning up the garbage on the side of the net.
Good job.
Offensive face-off win, too.
Mm-hmm. Good play there by Cam York to kind of, drive a little bit and then just throw the shot on net. Created a good rebound. Wait, did anybody even touch it? I think that's Cam York's.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I don't think JVR did get a stick on it. It looked like it had like a weird deflection.
Watch at the end. Cam York. Well, it looks like they're saying goaltender interference, but if you watch the overhead view, they're going to show you. Cam York just sticks the blade out and just boing. So that's the Cam York goal.
Who would have? What, Frosty maybe got in there?
Yorkie.
No, I'm trying to see in terms of you were saying potential goaltender interference.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but it looks like they're not going to challenge it, which is good.
Yeah, there was a little incidental contact with JVR. It was, but let's not overshadow key offensive face-off win there for Morgan Frost.
Mm-hmm. Not just that, it's a kid that's not giving up on the play and sees a shot, sees a rebound, and he continues to drive the net. Sees the puck pop up and just.
Is he on the fourth line still?
Who?
Frost.
I think he's on the. You said he was on the second line tonight.
Second.
There you go. You see that's he's following up his last game and he's picking it up right where he left off. Maybe he's gonna go on a little streak, guys.
We need a few guys here to go streaking.
Yeah, you just need to see some of these young players, start going on some hot streaks and show you that they've got it in them. And Dallas just scored the empty net goal. So it would appear that the Devils are on their way to, with 50 seconds to go, it looks like they're on their way to a 3-game losing streak.
Lock it up.
Could it be that, reality is setting in, that you're not as good as you think you are?
But yeah, York, his offensive presence, really a fine addition to this club, being that Torts wanted to, finally give him the call, and it actually makes players around him play better as well. So,
well, they need him to do it, and now it's 4-1 Dallas.
Oof. Colorado's power play 0 for the last 13.
Well, that's because they're missing all their guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that too bad though?
Yeah, doesn't it just break your heart?
Yeah, jeez.
Oh boy. Yeah, Swoopy wants to know. I don't know off the top of my head. I think he's from Canada, where Cam York is from. I'm looking it up right now. Oh, he's from Anaheim, California.
Oh,
yes, sir.
I didn't know that, actually. I thought he was from I actually thought he was from Canada. I don't know. That's actually kind of funny.
Yeah, actually it is.
Swoopy, what you trying to say? Don't be subtle about it. Just come out and say it, my friend.
Okay, so
another
gentlemen, I switched over to the Bruins and the Islanders, which are 1-1 with 1:04 to go. I'm sorry, it's 3-3 with 1:04 to go. in the third period. So we're looking at overtime in Boston, most likely.
Oof.
Damn it! I really thought that I could count on the Bruins to not give the Islanders any points, because I think
Man,
we're
they
only a
still
point
got
ahead of them.
they still got Makar out in the ice, man. He could be dangerous, especially on the power play.
Mm-hmm. This is where you got to keep an eye on him because he will.
What
he will
about
pick
what
up
about
the board.
Rantanen?
I don't see him.
Rantanen out there?
No.
He might have been on the first pair or the first line.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
gonna say, this looks like the second pairing. There he is. Oh, good chance there by Nikushkin. Another kill for the Flyers, which is good. They're holding this.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, the juniors. That's why I had thought it had to have been from the States because I remembered that. Yeah.
Now that makes me feel better. Sabres are beating the Kings right now 6-0.
Ooh.
Oof. Boy, the Kings
Sure.
are giving up a lot of goals this year.
Yeah. They're having goalie issues. I don't know what it is. Cal Peterson's not having nearly the season that he had last year. They actually put him on waivers and sent him down to AHL. And Jonathan Quick isn't really playing as well either.
Jonathan Quick is got to be in his late 30s now.
Hey, mid 30s.
Yeah, I mean he's getting old. I mean, and he's had a lot of injuries.
Yeah, I mean he had a resurgent season last year, which was really out of nowhere. Thought Cal Peterson was going to be the guy to take over the reins, but
Right.
he's struggling this year.
36.
Okay, so the Islanders and Bruins now, gentlemen, are in overtime. Tied at 3.
Tage Thompson, 2 goals and an assist, 3 points already on the night, or not already. The game's just about to end. Goals spread around. Good. I'm glad I didn't play him in DFS then. All right, cool.
So Tage is having an off night.
Yeah.
Yeah, only 3
Only 2
points.
goals.
Only 3 points. What's wrong with him? He sucks. I love that kid. I'm so happy he's finally breaking out.
Oh, you know what? Buffalo deserves a little happiness in hockey. It's really been pretty lean for them for a long time.
I mean, let me put this out there for you guys. When was the last time you saw a forward that's 6'6" and has soft hands like Tage Thompson has? Absolutely nobody.
Jerome McGinley.
But I don't think Jerome McGinley was 6'6".
He was big though.
He was big, but I don't think he was as big as Tage Thompson.
Yeah, you might be right, but he was a giant though.
No, absolutely. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I don't think he was.
Maybe he wasn't, but I mean, you're asking me was the last time I saw a guy that big, and the last guy that I can remember that was big like him was Kevin Stevens. Was pretty tall too, wasn't he?
I don't remember Kevin Stevens.
He used to be on the Penguins. He played with Lemieux and
Oh yeah.
He played with Lemieux and Francis, I think. I think he did. Or was Yager? I can't remember. Maybe Yager was on that line. Yeah, Kevin Stevens was on that line. Don't tell Matty Buffalo deserves happiness. Hey, Don, has the Red Wings scored a goal yet tonight?
I know Anaheim hasn't.
How about former NHL All-Star John Scott?
Oh.
7-0.
7-0.
Oh gosh.
Oh God, this hurts me. This hurts me.
So they got
Isaac
Isaac
Ratcliffe is 6'6".
Charo is 6'9", right?
Yep.
Yeah, but Charo was a defenseman though.
Yeah,
he was very heavy-handed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jordan Greenway is 6'6".
No, you don't see too many guys like that.
Yeah.
The defensemen you do see big defensemen, not are not. It's not unusual to see big defensemen.
Right.
It is unusual to see a big forward that has soft hands though, like that.
Right, and that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, there's guys that, I mean, Greenway's a solid player. I like Jordan Greenway. He's a good player at 6'6", big bodied guy.
Oh
Plays more of
yeah,
a physical game
absolutely.
than Tage Thompson does, but he just still has that scoring ability. But just watching him just with the puck his moves are so smooth and his hands are so soft. It's just ridiculous.
No, he's a tremendous player, and he's been for a while now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So
He's
I
been
don't know.
doing it all season, really.
Patrick Laine is 6'5".
That's true. I didn't even think about Patrick Laine. He's really 6'5"?
Yeah,
He's that big.
yeah. According to Google,
That's crazy. I didn't realize he was 6'5".
his picture
According
on
to
Google, his picture on Google makes him look like an Agent Smith from The Matrix, like a blonde Agent Smith.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. I actually just had that movie in my hand when I was in Target earlier today, too. I was all over the place.
Well, here's one for you. Mario Lemieux was 6'4".
Mm,
Okay.
Okay.
Ovechkin 6'3". So yeah, okay. Those are two guys that I thought might be the same size, but not even close. I'll look up. I'll look him up.
Yeah, and that's kind of
For
where
Ovechkin,
I
huh?
got thrown for a loop is
Oh.
to Ted's comment here. It's just the way he just doesn't he doesn't come off like 6'5".
Ovechkin with another goal.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
One
That man's
goal
hungry.
shy of 800.
That man's hungry.
Oh, Ginla was only 6'1".
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That your guy, a friend of yours, Chris Pronger, he was 6'6".
Oh, yeah.
Again, another defenseman.
Yeah, you're right.
And to Ted, I saw your comment earlier. No, I never got a Pronger jersey. He was only a Duck for a year.
Yeah, Rick Nash and Joe Thornton were 6'4". So if you're talking about big guys, you guys are right though. You're absolutely right. I just looked. I just scaled through a few stars that I knew were pretty big, and none of them are 6'6". 6'4" is about as big as any of these guys got. So, and Ginla was only 6'1". He was just a brute though.
Yeah, and that's kind of like most of those, and that's what I'm saying. Like when you see the guys that are built like 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", they're more angled towards playing
Well,
more
you're
of a
right.
physical
They
game because
usually
they're
have.
bigger bodied.
Yeah, no, they usually are hand to stone kind of players. You're right about that.
Play a physical game, they're throwing
Yeah.
their weight around, dropping gloves, stuff like that.
No, you're right. You're right. It's. I'll tell you what. If you have soft hands and you're that size, boy, can you play? Are you going to be scoring a lot of goals? I mean, Mario Lemieux was 6'4", and boy, he had some of the softest hands I ever saw.
We're with you on that one there, Don. Yeah, Ted. So Chris Pronger played in 2007 with the Ducks, helped them win a cup, and then he didn't leave. He was traded to the Flyers the next year for, I'm going to say they brought back Joffrey Lupul. Yeah, I think there was like another pick or two involved in that deal. But yeah, that was the next year after. So in 2006, he played at Edmonton, Anaheim in 2007, 2008 is when he wound up with the Flyers.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Did Pronger leave the Edmonton because they couldn't pay him, or did they trade him?
I want to say he was traded.
Wow. Why wasn't the Flyers given an offensive zone face-off there? That was icing. They just let the clock wind down. It's showing end of the first period right now. Flyers up 1-0, shots 10-6, favor of the Avalanche.
Oh, that's a strong
Yes,
period.
Lawton's asking about it. Why didn't we get an offensive zone face-off for maybe like 0.4, 0.8? You could score off that.
Yes,
Yeah, depending on who you got in the face-off circle. Absolutely.
Yeah, if we had Claude back.
Yeah, right. That guy, man, if there's one thing that Claude Giroux did well, it was Was able to win that face-off and get a shot off. God, I miss that guy. All right, so yeah, we're at the end of the first here, 1-0.
Nice
What are we
job by the
thinking here?
Flyers. Getting off to getting the lead after the first period. Now let's see if they can maintain it in the second period.
Pretty sure Pronger only played 1 year in Anaheim.
Oh yeah, you should be.
And now it's shootout time in Boston.
Interesting. Wow. Blackhawks put one up. There you go, Priz. Tyler Johnson.
We did play 3 years in Anaheim. Look at that.
Yeah, Ovechkin, by the way, is at $7.99 now.
Why do I remember that for 1 year?
Wonder if he's going to get another milestone with us on the air.
Yeah, right.
Huh. Interesting.
Or only the first period. I think he got plenty of time.
Yep.
Or end of the first.
Wow. Interesting.
Oh yeah, it was 1 year in Edmonton. That's what it was.
Yeah, I knew about the 1 year. Yeah, I knew about the 1 year in Edmonton because we had talked about it when we had him on the show.
Yeah.
I could have sworn it was only 1 year in Anaheim. I don't remember him playing 3 years with the Ducks. Yeah. Yeah, the loss to Carolina hurt him, and he came back the next year and won a cup with the Anaheim Ducks. That's crazy. No, Ted, you're not off. I am. All right, take it easy on me, Prez. Jesus Christ.
Cue up the blasting of B-Dales.
God damn. I'm gonna just jump off here and I'm just gonna produce for you guys.
Okay, so
know.
Charlie Coyle is taking the first shot for Boston. And he is stopped by Varlamov.
Who's gonna win this?
What a save that was. Holy smokes. It looked like, he went to the left and then he went to the right on his forehand. All he had to do was roof the shot, and he had it. Now Barzell's coming in.
No, Teddy, it's Sanheim. I think it's Sanheim with Lawton, where they're just reading straight off the teleprompter.
Wow, he made that look easy.
Yes. It sucks to have to pay for costly car repairs.
Guys, Barzell just went in with the shootout. He made the goal. He scored, and he made it look so easy. It was ridiculous. And now Jake DeBrusk, for some reason, and not Pasternak is going in there, and he scored. Okay, so I don't know what I'm talking about.
Pasternak's going to sign an 8-year deal with the Bruins.
Yeah.
You mean he's not going to get traded to the Rangers?
No.
No, that's bad.
That's a shame.
Yeah. Okay, so now Brock Nelson's coming in. And he is stopped by Linus. So it's 1-1 going into the third shot. Going into the third. Into the third one. Third shot.
Damn, Chris.
Okay, guys, here comes Pasternak now.
Oh, that's cold-blooded.
Yeah.
Pasta coming in.
Yeah, Pasternak scores. So it's 2-1 Boston, and now the Islanders have one shot left. I wonder who they're going to send out for the third shot.
Brad is 5 seconds before. Spoilers, Brad. Spoilers. Well, I'll delay him a little bit, Prez, by telling you who's bringing you the second period, and that's All Campus, home of A2D Ramp Booth, and they're giving 20% off everything in their store, which includes hats, shirts, and their team cornhole sets to all of our subscribers. Make sure you hit them up, All Campus.
And guys, Josh Bailey has been stopped. The Islanders lose to Boston.
Hooray!
Shootout. Good.
Hurrah!
Hurrah. That's important for my Rangers.
Well, being that we're getting a little look around the league, maybe we should hit up the around the league a little early now that we have the intermission. What say you, Brian?
I'm good with it. You want to start off with the scoring updates?
Yeah. We talked about a couple of games. Fill us in, brother.
All right, man. Here we go. Tuesday, December 13th. It is a final, by the way. Anaheim loses 7-0. It'd be nice if they showed up, but they didn't. And obviously, we know at the end of the first period, we got the Flyers up 1-0 on a goal from Cam York, which was, for me, it's huge. All right, so at the end of the second, Oilers up 5-3 over the Nashville Predators. At the end of 2, we got a 3-3 tie out in Winnipeg. Jets tied with the Golden Knights. I shouldn't say over. At the end of the
way,
first,
Jack Eichel's hurt, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I did hear about that.
Injured reserve.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was going to talk about earlier or later. End of the first, you got the Capitals up 2-1 on the Blackhawks over on ESPN, but stick it here. Some of the finals, like we just said, Bruins 4-3 over the Islanders, Panthers 4-0 over the Blue Jackets, Stars, and we talked about this, Stars 4-1 over the New Jersey Devils, Sabres 6-0 over the LA Kings, the Lightning 6-2 over the Seattle Kraken. Scoring 6 goals, 4+ goals seems to be a thing tonight. And then the Hurricanes win 1-0 over the Detroit Red Wings. A couple games left to play. One game left to be played at 10:30 tonight, and that's Arizona at San Jose.
Out in the desert. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate that.
Yes,
Fuck them Coyotes. Fuck them Coyotes right up their asshole. Anyway, one thing I saw since we've last been on air, boys, I wanted to talk to you guys about it. Did you see that cross-check from Jeff Skinner on Jake Gensel right in the face?
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of slashes to the ankle.
Yeah. They were both slashing the hell out of each other. Then he cross-checks him in the shoulder, and if that wasn't enough, Getzel's still talking junk. He just cross-checks him right in the chicklets. He got 3 games for it. Should he have gotten more?
No, I think actually Getzel should have gotten one too, because you know what? He instigated the whole damn thing by smacking the goaltender's pads, Anderson. So you know that's what started it, and then Getzel's mouthing off, and apparently he just the other guy just completely lost it. Skinner back in I think 2011 had an incident like that where he went nuts and started using his stick, and he got suspended. If I'm not mistaken. So I mean, this isn't the first go around with Skinner. It's just been a while since he got himself in hot water with the league.
Yeah, and I'm with. I mean, I think I'm okay with one game. Nothing really severe came from it. Nobody got hurt, thankfully, and you don't really see that kind of those kind of antics from Jeff Skinner. So I think that's kind of why they went a little bit easier on him, just giving him one game prior instead of I could have seen the 3-game suspension coming, but no, he's not that type of player. He's not that type of guy, and just to see him kind of go off like that kind of makes him a little bit more human to me. And I like the fact that he's sticking up for his goaltender the way he did.
Yeah, I mean, Buffalo's having a lot of problems defensively this year, and you know what? I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that their defensemen are not clearing the front of the net, and somebody has to be an enforcer on that team, as far as in their own end. And if it took Skinner getting suspended a game, and him actually costing Buffalo a point, because they did end up scoring on the power play, Pittsburgh in overtime in that game. So be it. But Buffalo really needs. I mean, listen, quite honestly, they need Jerry Korab to come out of retirement and get to be about 40 years younger and play again, because they desperately need a guy like him again on the back line. They're really, really suffering from the fact that nobody gets touched in front of their net.
Yeah, no, and this is kind of goes into Priz's comment here. It's Skinner set up for his goalie. It's an unwritten rule. So, you smack your opposing goaltender's pads, you're going to have to answer to some people. And
Right.
Unfortunately, Gensel had to answer to Jeff Skinner.
And
You have to.
Getzel is Getzel is no angel. So
No.
I don't feel sorry for that guy one bit. He's a sneaky, dirty player. He's the typical Sidney Crosby kind of guy that as soon as the referee turns his back, he's slashing and spearing somebody. So I feel no remorse for seeing him get whacked around.
Speaking of, and this is a good transition over because we're talking about slashing. Let's talk about the Thomas Chabot incident. Did you guys hear about that? Thomas Chabot showing a little bit of anger on the bench, goes to break his stick, smacks Travis Hamonic in the face. Smacked his own teammate. Friendly fire, baby.
Oh,
Idiot. Got to check those emotions at the door.
Mm-hmm. Or at least make sure you're not sitting next to somebody you're going to smack your stick with.
Why couldn't he go into the hallway of the locker room and smack his stick and then come back to the bench?
Don't know. Didn't see the play before, but all I saw was him just swing the stick. It broke, and he wound up hitting. I don't think Travis Hamonic was even cut. Thank God, because when that carbon fiber stick breaks, they'll splinter real easily. So the fact that he wasn't cut by that, even hurt at all, is a blessing in disguise for Travis Hamonic. So good for him on not being hurt, but shame on you, Thomas Chabot, for doing that.
Yeah, for being a klutz.
Yeah, just for being a flat-out asshole. You're sitting next to a guy and you're going to go and break your stick?
Yeah, that's pretty stupid, actually.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Dylan, what's up, buddy? What else is going on here? We got a few things. A lot of trade rumors going around early. I don't know if you guys have heard any of them, any of the new updates. Just give me 1 second here and I'll pull them up. Apparently, Edmonton is going to be a team to watch come the trade deadline, and Anaheim is going to be another team to watch at the trade deadline. Yeah, always is right.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Where did
the Blackhawks are going to be a team to watch too?
Yeah, I saw something this morning. Where was it? I just read it this morning. Oh, they're posting up earlier. Here we go. Klingberg, Erik Karlsson, Jacob Chikrin are all being tried to be persuaded by the Oilers. Like I said, they're going to be a team to watch. Brock Besser is another one. He's being, I think Montreal has interest in him. Vancouver may be interested in Sean Monahan, so he might be on the move as well. A lot of guys on the move. Bo Horvat's another big. He's going to be the big prize for somebody this year. And I saw
is Bo Horvat a free agent?
No, but because of things that are going, he wants out in Vancouver because he wants to compete. He's tired of rebuilding, so he just wants out, and they would be smart to let him go.
That's understandable.
Yeah, so it is down to Boston. Well, it's up to Boston, Toronto, the Islanders, Hurricanes, Devils, Wild, Red Wings, Predators, Capitals, and Avalanche for Bo Horvat.
And probably another secret team or two.
Oh, I'm sure there's other teams involved too.
Yeah, the whole league would want him. I mean,
oh yeah, 4 years old. He's a captain. I mean, I saw some people talking. I know Swoopy was talking about it in Flyers Nation Facebook page that him being cousins with TK or something like that along those lines. Whatever. I don't really care about the relationship, but he could be. I honestly, I think he'd be a good fit. I think he's a Torts type of player, but Flyers just don't have the assets or the cap space to bring in a boat or Horvat. So it doesn't matter what you try and move.
And you cannot trade your draft picks either.
No,
you just can't. You can't do that. Not if you're the Flyers.
Yeah. And Anaheim also had Pat Verbeek in Edmonton again today. So I think if anything's going to come down right now for Anaheim, because I think they need to make a move sooner than later. I think Edmonton's going to make a splash, and I think it's going to be Klingberg heading to Edmonton.
Agreed.
So doesn't Edmonton still need a defenseman, though?
Well, right. Klingberg is a defenseman.
Oh, he is a defenseman. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. By the way, I don't know if you saw the highlight goal by McDavid tonight. He went around two guys and then split the other two for a goal. Similar to that one goal he scored against the Rangers a couple of years ago. But he went through the entire team. Very similar, except the last two guys he went, right down the middle on them.
Again, that's another
ridiculous.
normal day at the office for him.
Yeah, he's man.
Braden Point had a goal tonight. Nice, similar play. Just broke the defense down.
He's so good too.
Okay, so Dylan says that the Flames had scouts at the Shark games. Who are the Sharks trading?
Timo Meyer.
They're going to
There's
trade
talks
him?
of moving him. Yeah, I mean he's getting older. They need to consider moving him a little bit and bringing some draft capital.
How old is he? How old is he? He's not that old.
28.
Okay, so he's
maybe
just
be
about
older.
Maybe. Yeah, you might.
No, 26. Pardon me.
Okay, that sounds more. I was going to say I didn't think he was that old. 26. He's in the middle of his prime. Why would you? Oh, all right. Well, they better get a lot for it. They got to get a lot for him.
I heard Anaheim's in on Timo Meyer, and there's a couple other teams. I think they said Vancouver is one. Flames were definitely one, as obviously we see here, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. And I would not hate Puya Harvey. He needs a fresh start. He's having a rough go in Edmonton.
Yeah, but Edmonton just seems to refuse to trade him. You mean are you talking about Puya Harvey?
Jesse Puya Harvey, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. He's they don't want to trade him. They've been very stubborn about hanging on to him. So I don't know about him going anywhere.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, I'm right now. I'm focused on Bedard.
Oh, there's also a couple other guys in that draft. If you come in the top 6, you're gonna get probably a can't miss player. But I mean, that draft is like 3 or 4 rounds deep this year. With real good players. I mean, you're going to get a good player regardless of where you fit. If you finish in the bottom 10, you're going to get a good player. There is no question about that.
Klingberg for Nurse. I would immediately not be an Anaheim fan anymore.
Klingberg for Nurse? No, they can't do that.
No, they wouldn't do that.
No.
He's just trying to get me riled up.
Oh yeah, I was going to say, don't worry, you're not going to come on. I mean,
based on that tweet we saw earlier today about Nurse.
Nurse is just
Nurse period's underway.
He's the most overrated player I've ever seen.
I've seen worse, but yeah, I mean he's one of the most overrated defensemen. He does not deserve 9 a year.
No.
Pierre-Luc Dubois. Sorry, Swoopy's throwing out Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Here.
Oh, you're ahead of me now.
Like over the crossbar. Ooh.
Ooh,
I think he got his stick lifted from behind slightly. It caused the shot to go up high over the crossbar.
You ahead of me? You might be ahead of me.
I'm back to being ahead. Nice.
I think so. Yep, I'm just getting to the breakaway. Ooh, he went high and left, or high and right. Sorry, high and right.
Did the defender lift his stick from behind?
It didn't look like it to me. It just looked like maybe the puck came up on an edge on him.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Am I making that up, Priz? Call me Cliff, whatever it was. I didn't even say. Cliff Clavin? Is that what the name was?
Oh.
Let me know when you're at 1808, Bri.
Okay. I got about 20 seconds. There you go. There it is. Cliff Clavin back at it again.
Oh, boy.
Is it 1808? 1808? 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. 1808. There.
Boom. Can you not get the game, Brad, in your area again?
I can't. Yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't get Flyer games, unfortunately, because I got DirecTV.
Gotcha.
So
That's all right, though. I like these live look-ins on the other games, too.
yeah, well, I can at least tell you what's going on everywhere else.
Yeah.
You know, now I've got the Oilers and Nashville on.
Nice. Nashville playing good hockey.
Yeah,
Ted,
they've
don't
been
forget
playing.
about his buddy Cristal too. This is going to be a very good draft for a lot of teams.
Yes. Taking a puck to the head yesterday and laying unconscious for a minute until getting back up on his feet. Luckily, he tested negative for everything. Wow. Still, thoughts with Tanev?
That was bad.
I'm at 17 minutes now.
Nice.
Yeah, Swoopy, he's got like 20 seconds on me.
I paused it though. Now we're right online. The fan will be ahead of us though. You can let us know your reactions. You're part of these live reactions. It's not just our live reactions. It's everybody's. Together. Let's go Flyers.
Yeah, let's go Flyers.
Yep, you're right, Brian. Puck rolled up the stick.
Yeah, it's usually the only time that happens is when the puck starts rolling and it really goes up. Because you get that roll, because you get a little bit more height because it's instead of laying flat, it comes up on the edge. You just get under it a little bit more. That's usually how you can tell the puck's rolling.
Frost might get criticized for making the extra pass there and not getting the puck on net, but that was a good looking play. If Hayes has his head on a swivel right there, that puck in the back of the net, like that's a playmaker's play right there. I actually don't half mind that pass.
No, Prez, I don't know who Cliff Clavin is, but if Ted is anywhere close to being right, I'm not a reporter, bro.
Cliff Clavin's a mailman.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes.
But he always gives trivia that was wrong. That's why they're calling you Cliff Clavin.
Yes.
Either way.
It's a well-known fact that I invented the Buffalo nickel.
There you go. There it is. I love how I kind of circled a comment with my mouse pad, like you can actually see what I'm doing.
Yes.
I swear to God. I'm just, you know what? I'll see you guys later.
Peace out. You guys are all so mean to Brian. Cut him some slack, you vultures.
Seriously, you all do what I do.
I called him savage in the chat.
They are savage. That's why I love them.
Okay, so boys, Nashville now on the power play against Edmonton. Trailing 5-3.
I thought they were done playing Briskalov. Maybe. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud here, boys. Huh. I thought they were done with that. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, Dylan, I briefly brought that up earlier about Kevin Hayes being bought out, which is really weird and this is what I kind of brought up. I don't necessarily think buying him out right now makes much sense. I mean, probably a little bit closer down the line to where his contract's almost up. But right now he's a point per player. He's a point per game player.
He has 4 more years left on his contract, doesn't he?
He's got 3.
3. So then you'd be paying if you buy him out with 3 years left, you'd be paying him for another 6 years.
Yeah, but I mean, but like the point I'm trying to get to is the fact that he's playing really good hockey now, and they're talking about buying him out.
Nah, you can't do that.
That to me just makes no sense.
Yeah, you got to trade him. Try to trade him first.
I mean, that's what I would do.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be better off. You'd be better off trading him and absorbing some of his salary. You know, I mean that you really would be. That would be a much better idea, and then you don't have to worry about him being on your cap for the next 6 years.
But yeah, he's got 3 years left on his contract.
Yeah, so that means you'd have to carry him on the books for 6 years. You know, at a reduced rate. But I mean, you'd be better off just absorbing 50% of his contract when you trade him for 2 seasons, and then you don't have to worry about the other 4 years. You know,
Okay.
otherwise you're going to get killed.
Yeah. Okay, Dylan, I got you. I'm following you now. It's off the books. That's why I don't see it on Cap Friendly or anything like that. Like you see some of these other guys. No, Ted Briz is not still in the league. He's just still getting paid by the Flyers because of the buyout.
Yeah, and he lives comfortably in Haddonfield, by the way.
Very comfortably. I actually, when I was working at Pure Hockey, I bumped into him and his kid quite a bit.
Yeah, he used to drive a Mercedes, and he got it at S-Class, and he got it serviced at Mercedes-Benz at Cherry Hill. I took him home a few times.
Yeah, when he's miserable, he's miserable. He does not talk to anybody, but when he's in a good mood, he'll talk to anybody.
Yeah,
His kid's really good.
He seems to be a very cordial guy when I talk to him.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure he is. I mean, just from what I've seen, like he's either talking to everybody or he's not talking to anybody.
Oh, well, yeah.
Oh, that's probably why I never clicked on him, Dylan. That's probably why I never saw it. I thought he was done, but that's fine. Dylan, yeah, but he has to approve that. Obviously, no movement clause. Oh, here we go. We talking about Rocky now? How's he doing, Priz? Like, I haven't heard about your squirrel in a while. I forgot about the squirrel. Hope he's doing good, man. I know you can't send him back out in the wild now. But in the meantime, we are at a commercial break. Flyers still up 1-0. It's really not a whole lot going on here.
Yeah, I asked Priz if he liked the squirrel. I did give a little homage to Christmas Vacation tonight. We are in the holiday season after all.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I think he sent us a picture once, or he sent me a picture once. See if I can find it.
Yeah, just to let the fam know, too, we're going to stick with this game till the end of the second period and then do our shootout and wrap up. And that's our time for this evening. But, feel free to chat it up. We'll still be in the chat during the rest of the third period. And while we have this little break in the action, tell you about another sponsor here at A2D Radio. That's FanUp, and it's the best way to enjoy fantasy sports. Daily NBA, NHL, NFL contests, and more. Win great prizes. Sign up today, and if you use the promo code A2D for 5,000 bonus points, it's a $50 value at fanup.app. Making Maddie proud. Giving the sponsors. Oh, nice hit by Sealer. Showing the great check of the game. That was, I want to say midway first period. 8 shifts tonight, 6 minutes, 13 seconds ice time, 1 shot, 2 hits. Contributing as a solid, dependable third line defenseman.
There's my man Rocky right there, somewhere.
Ah, nice.
Just chilling out on his head.
Saved them.
Yeah, he did.
Good humanitarian.
That's our man, Priz.
Yeah.
They called him. Oh, yeah, they called him the Universe because of his comment on the 24/7 series.
Big, ginormous.
Mhm. Why you have to be mad? It's been a bastardly.
Oh.
Oh, I would have beat his ass.
Wow.
Maddie's. What was Maddie doing? I don't remember.
Avalanche trying to take control of this game. Now up 9 minutes, 8 seconds, ball offensive zone time to the Flyers 3:38. Now it's 16-8 in favor in shots in favor of the Avalanche. 13 minutes to go in the second period.
Oh, they still have a 1-0 lead. Maybe they can catch him pinching and get an odd man rush and score.
Yeah, it's been a little lack of effort, Ted, but they did wind up moving him up. What's we call it? They actually wound up healthy scratching McEwen and put Willem in that spot that Farabee was skating in the warm up. McEwen was late scratch. I wonder if that's health oriented or just a healthy scratch.
Flyers need to get some shots on net here.
They
like I
need
said,
to get the puck to keep the puck out of their own end.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, the offensive zone pressure has been heavy from the Avalanche, making a little push with the players that they do have healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you have to expect they're the home team that they're going to make a push in the second period.
Yep.
Big icing call here. Although I'm not necessarily sure that was the right call there. I think Newhook may have beaten him.
Yeah. It was injury related. He picked up an undisclosed injury against the Coyotes on Sunday, Zach McEwen. So he probably gave it a go and couldn't go tonight.
Yeah, I mean they're averaging 5 goals against in the last 6 games. The Avalanche, it's been brutal for them.
Yeah, I know, bro. You did some nice research there for our YouTube description in terms of the struggles of the Avalanche over the last week or so.
Yeah, it's been a tough stretch for them. Obviously, injuries happen in this league, and some teams hits harder than others.
Yeah, they're getting plagued with injuries right now. They're just, I mean, really, until after the new year, they're not getting anybody back anytime soon.
Nope, especially the guys they need.
Yeah, I mean, he, MacKinnon is out. MacKinnon's going to be out at least another 3 weeks.
Yep.
And don't expect to see the captain back anytime soon. I mean, he's going to be out for a while too.
The same thing with Josh Manson. Josh Manson's on the IR. He's not expected to be back anytime soon.
Yeah, they're gonna have to hang in there and hang in there and hang in there, and then try to make a run late and get into the playoffs. That's really what it's going to come down to now with them, because they just have so many injuries.
Yeah, but the good sign is, and this is just what I saw earlier, and from what I remember seeing on the roster, they only had Josh Manson on the IR, so he's the only one that I know that is significantly injured. So hopefully they can't. Well, I don't necessarily want this to happen, but hopefully they can get some guys back in January.
Yeah, I mean Landeskog, he's. I think, when did he get hurt? Like 2 weeks ago, and they said 6 to 8 weeks with him. So, if you look at the 6-week mark, I mean he's still got another 4 weeks. MacKinnon's got at least another 3 weeks. I mean that's a long time to play without 2 players like that on your team.
Yeah, Devin Taves just had a beautiful goal.
So what's a 1-1 now?
Yeah. It was a matter of time. Avs were pushing hard. Yeah, they just caught the Flyers on a pinch. They allowed Taves to just sneak behind and beautiful backhand 5-hole on Sandstrom.
You could feel it coming. Like I
Mhm.
said, I mean, the Flyers did have a nice little offensive rush. Contributed by Travis connecting, making a nice move towards the net and getting a nice little upending of the player behind the net after the play too, which I thought was nice little shot there. Surprised he could have gotten called for a penalty, but after that, offensive zone, Colorado ties it up 1-1 here midway through the second period.
Yeah, they were buzzing. They've been buzzing pretty much this entire period, in my opinion. A lot of sustained offensive pressure. Maybe not as many scoring chances, but they've been holding the puck in the Flyers zone a lot this period. Flyers need to figure out a way to get some of that pressure going their way. Big game tying goal here midway through the second period. It's good momentum swing for Colorado. I wouldn't expect to see Colorado ease up at all yet.
Well, this is where the Flyers have to keep their composure. You know, they just got the score just got tied. So at this point, you know, no panic. It's a tie score. You're not trailing. You know, stick with the game plan and you know, get the puck out of your zone and start trying to start trying to score. I mean, you can't play the game in your own end the whole period. Eventually, against a team like Colorado, even with all their injuries, they still have enough guys out there. They can bite you, you know, for sure.
Yeah, graphics said that Colorado had 10 shots this period, and Flyers have none.
Oh, jeez.
And we're midway through the second period.
That's pretty much complete domination right now.
This is where you see the lack of just talent, lack of finish, you know, that Tortorella talks about. Like, they just can't make mistakes. They don't have enough offensive talent to keep up with the big boys. Even a hamstrung team like the Colorado Avalanche here. I do like him throwing out the fourth line, though, to make some noise. Maybe rough it up a little bit.
Yeah, that's
well, you know, fights and scrums can cause momentum swings. That's always a good idea.
And right now, Colorado is missing their biggest gun when it comes to the physical game, and that's Josh Manson.
What about the heavyweight champion? Is he playing tonight?
Depends on who the heavyweight champion is.
Now I'm forgetting his name.
Chris throwing out some trivia.
I'll get his name for you.
2 goalies, one with a career 251 goals against, 919 save percentage, the other 245 goals against, 918. Who's better?
You see, now I have questions. How many games did each one play? How many shots did each one face? How many goals for? How many goals against?
I'm going to go with the higher save percentage guy.
That's kind of where I'm leaning.
Curtis McDermott, is he playing tonight?
Oh, Curtis McDermott. Yeah, I didn't see him.
He's the heavyweight champion right now.
I haven't seen him yet. So he might still be out
scratched. There. He may be scratched then.
I'll look it up. But the thing of it is it'd be a lot cooler if he was. I'd like to see him and Delorier drop it.
I love Delorier. I'm so mad he's not in Anaheim anymore. Yeah, Prez, you got ignored, baby. Ignored your ass. Call me Cliff Clavin.
Cliff.
Although I will say that Cheers was a great show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, what's her name? Kirstie Alley just passed away, by the way. Rest in peace.
Oh, yeah. She had a short battle with cancer, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a heartbreaking situation.
That's a tough one. Everybody liked her. She just seemed like a really nice person and, you know, genuine, down-to-earth kind of person.
Yeah, she seemed that way. I mean, I didn't really see much of her stuff. I wasn't a big Kirstie Alley fan myself. I will say, though, look who's talking when I was growing up was one of my favorite movies.
Mm.
No, that
because of
movie
her,
was
though.
hilarious.
Not because of her, though. Because of Bruce Willis,
Yeah,
who was
well,
the voice of the baby.
yes.
McDermott not playing tonight.
Oh, that's a shame. I would have loved to see her. I would love to see him fight the Laurier. That would be one heck of a scrap.
Ooh, little fighting action there or from the Chicago Blackhawks. Only down 3-2 now. 5 minutes,
there
30
you go.
seconds to go in the second.
Good.
Ovi assisted on the third goal. Now has 3 points on the night.
Jesus Christ. So yeah, here's he went a little bit deeper for us. So the 919 had 385 games and counting with 10,700 shots. The 918 had 485 games and 12,000 shots.
Yeah, that changes things a lot. I have to go for the goaltender B now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I am too. More shots faced, more games played.
And a lower goals against and more games played and shots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of where that's why I can't go just based off of those two stats. You got to give me a little bit more. That's just me. That's just me though. That's just how my brain works.
Who are we comparing?
Just two goaltenders. He never specified on who.
Oh, okay.
Oh, here you go.
I'm waiting to hear who they are.
We took Corey Crawford over Vasilevsky.
Oh, come on. Are you serious? Corey Crawford stunk.
You are saying Vasilevsky there, right, Priz? I'm not going crazy.
Wow, that's surprising.
Corey Crawford was an average regular season goaltender, but knew how to turn it on in the playoffs.
Yeah, but he was okay. But I mean, it was.
Some of his stats are system based. You know what I mean too. Like, you know, the team around him made him look real good. You know what I mean? And that's part of it. I mean, that's what we talk about with Carter Hart, with the lack of defense that's been played in front of him. You know, in years past, a little better this year, obviously.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you know what? Sometimes it doesn't matter what you do in the regular season. It matters what you do in the postseason. And that's what made Corey Crawford so good because he wound up winning 3 cups with the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yes, he did.
Three cups?
He did. But I
2 cups with the Chicago Blackhawks. 2 cups with the Blackhawks. I think Antti Niemi got 1 for Chicago. And then the next 2 were Corey Crawford.
Right. Corey Crawford was not that good, though.
No, he didn't need to be, though. He was good enough.
Yeah, well, yeah. Antti Niemi wasn't all that great either. The Chicago had an unbelievable team back then.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, I've been saying that, Rob, for the last few years. Is you know, your goaltender's only as good as your defense. If your defense is subpar, your goalie's going to be subpar because he can only save so much.
Yeah,
right.
That's true.
And when you're giving up high quality shots all the time, you're going to give up goals.
And the Capitals just scored again, but guess what? It was not Ovechkin.
Not Ovechkin.
No, it was what's his name? Ode Knubel.
Oh, Obe Kubel, former
Kubel,
Flyer,
yeah,
Nick.
whatever the hell his name is, yeah.
Knack.
Obe Kubel. It sounds like a champagne.
Oh no, I'm wrong. It was Dowd. it was Nick Dowd. My bad. Obe Kubel made the pass.
Sounds like a fine wine.
Credit to Dowd there. Gotcha.
Mikko Rantanen going to the box now. Flyers are 4-on-4 with 6:34 left here in the second period.
Got to be careful with the 4-on-4 with Colorado, the way they skate, though.
Fortunately, they took Rantanen off the ice.
Good.
Eric Johnson's still playing?
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
he is.
Wow. A lot of ice here for them to skate, and Colorado has a ton of speed. Here's a good opportunity for the Flyers. Got a 2-on-1 here. Wide. Good skating there by York there to beat out whoever that was, 54 for the puck. All right, so Flyers on a power play now, minute 10 to go. It's their first power play of the night. Figure out a way to get some momentum to go on their side here. It's just a good. You don't necessarily need to score on this power play, but you need to create a little bit of havoc here. Keep the puck in the zone.
You need to try to change momentum, which a lot of times a power play can do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Absolutely.
Yeah, because you get some offense, and then all of a sudden you're getting a little momentum.
Yeah, and here's a goal, short-handed goal. Oh, that's terrible. And they go right on Torts. Right, the camera goes right on the Torts. Waiting for the blow up.
Yeah, they would have to show him, don't they?
Yeah, I didn't like this setup for they dump it in, they give the puck up, then they try to get through the blue line, and Avalanche did a really good job blocking off the neutral zone. They get a lucky bounce off the dashers there. It wasn't necessarily a defensive breakdown, just a bad bounce.
No, absolutely. I was going to say the same thing there. I can't blame York on that play. They chipped it right out, and this is what I'm saying. When even Brad was saying the same thing, this team can skate, the Colorado Avalanche. So can York. York's got speed too, but
now you don't want to play 4. You don't want to play 4-on-4 against that team.
No, it's even worse as it was shorthanded.
Too much talent on that team to play 4-on-4. I mean, even with all their injuries, they can still throw out Nishkushkin and what's his name, Rantanen, and and they can throw out Girard and Makar out there. So still, that's still when it's 4-on-4 and you got those 4 guys out there, that's good enough.
No, absolutely. That's kind of a heartbreaker for the point in the game that they're at. Flyers starting to slowly build a little bit of momentum going their way. You're on the power play. It's an opportunity for you to really get back. Not that they're out of the game, but really get themselves back into this game. And that happens. It's just an unfortunate bounce going for the Avalanche, and just goes to show you how fast that this team really is.
Yeah. Atari Lettinen with the goal, by the way.
Ooh, I forgot about him. I'm falling a little behind on the comments here. Getting too into this game.
No, it's word.
I just saw the 2 goals Ovechkin scored. I mean, they were.
Yeah.
He was set up he was really set up very well. Let's put it this way. Put it that way. I mean, he was definitely scooping up the garbage on those 2 goals. One of them was kind of an excuse me goal. It went off a stick, and the puck was going about maybe 2 miles an hour towards the goal, and nobody saw the puck, and it kind of just trickled in.
Truth, Brad.
Yeah.
Any chance we can convince you guys to stay for the third period? We got to give time for others. Plus, I know the boys above me have some early tea times.
Tea times.
Especially how am I doing this? This guy.
Early wake up calls, however you want to phrase it.
Early pizza calls.
I mean, I don't. I'm just ready for bed. It's been a long weekend. It's been.
You're going to be playing. Do you mind me mentioning your trip?
No, Brett? You're fine.
Will you be playing any golf in Aruba?
No, I don't play golf.
You don't play golf? That's not your game?
No. Golf is a waste of a walk. Sorry. Real men play tennis, so that's all I can say.
Real talk.
I've played tennis. I can never do it.
Yeah, golf is boring, and the only fun thing about golf is riding in one of those carts. And the last time I played golf, I think I shot a 109 in 9 holes. So you might understand why golf is not my thing.
I love playing golf. It's one of my favorite things to do. I
That's
just wish
not
I
a
did it more.
terrible score. That's not a terrible score, but yeah, I know my boy Dale feels the golf.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I actually just picked up a couple of new golf gloves today at Dick's, which is not the reason why I went, but you know, every time I'm there, I go through the golf area because I'm checking out the clubs and stuff. And Jesus,
Wouldn't the golf
fuck,
gloves be
they're
better against
expensive.
a bat, like a baseball bat?
Depends on what I'm doing.
Oh, okay. I used to play. I used to play a lot of softball back in the day.
I love playing softball too. I played for a couple teams.
Yeah, I played. I played for. I played for till I was 50. So yeah. After that, it was kind of like I was kind of afraid I was going to get hurt because every time I played, it would take me like 3 days to be able to comb my hair because my shoulder would be so sore. Because they'd stick me in the outfield, and every time I had to throw the ball into the infield, I was like, oh, like an old man.
Yeah, I mean that's usually how I feel after a day of golf, but I love it so much, man.
Yeah.
I suck at it. I'm terrible at it, but you know what? Through most of the 6 hours, I'm sitting there cursing and saying I hate this fucking sport, and I'm done, and I'm never playing again. And I always get
honestly,
a handful of hits where I hit it exactly how I want to, where I want to. I'm like, well, I can keep playing this game. I can keep doing this. It's just
honestly,
it's golf. You hate it for
it takes too long. That's my problem with it. Is just it takes too long.
Oh, I love it. I love that it takes so long. It's more time I'm out of the house.
Yeah, no, I get that, but it's like I just my attention span doesn't last that long.
Depends on how well I'm shooting. If I'm shooting pretty well, I'm okay with it. If I'm not shooting well, I'm ready to get off the course.
But if you're
Just get me
good,
out of here.
If you're good, it's another story. If you're like really bad or everybody kind of laughs every time you swing, this isn't hockey. Stop taking slap shots. I had to hear that. It's like, all right, well, whatever.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's kind of what it is most guys, most of the guys I play with, we all suck, but I'd rather be having a bad day. Like here, you know what? This comment says it all. I would rather have a bad day on a golf course than a good day at work.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, I'd rather have a bad day fishing than a good day at work too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
that's another thing I'm down for is always going fishing.
Yes. Yeah. Fishing is good.
My short game is terrible, by the way. I can putt. I can drive. It's everything in between that I have a problem with.
I hear that. It's remarkable. The few times I've gone golfing, I'll always do tremendously well on the toughest hole on the course, but I suck every other one.
There's always one hole, man. I kid you not. There's always one hole. You're just sitting there, you're like, fucking hate this game. Then you play that one hole, you're like, I fucking love this game. Let's go.
Yeah.
Sign me up for the PGA. And then next hole, you're like, fuck.
Yeah, no, the last time I played, I had to play with all the guys at work.
Ooh.
And, I
Nice
really
move.
heard it.
Kate's really showing a nice power move there. That offensive chance one-on-one with the goaltender. They draw a hook?
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah. Maybe they can get one before the break here.
Another power play?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Don't let them score this time. How about that now? That's another example of the puck rolled off his stick. Didn't really get all on that backhand there. And it's tough when you make that move to be able to get enough juice on the backhand. But it's such a great shot selection. It's very hard for the goaltender to read a backhand on that type of situation.
Oh, absolutely, especially coming in like that on that angle.
Oh, anytime you get a backhander, if you can whip a backhander, it's always hard to read where the puck's going.
Mm-hmm.
I can say when I played street hockey, every once in a while I played
Ooh.
goalie, and it was hard to stop backhanders because you don't know where they're going.
Yep. Very
Yeah.
tricky.
The only way you can stop them is if you just try to come out, cut down the ankle, and hopefully it hits you.
Thought the Flyers were going to have 5-on-3.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I didn't see it deflect off anything, though.
So Ovi is now 2 goals behind Gordie Howe.
Greatest goal scorer we will ever see.
The ref saying it deflected off the camera.
Oh, okay.
That should be out of play, though. That's bullshit.
Right.
They're saying the camera's in play?
Apparently.
Since when?
Yeah, that's an odd call. They're skating around there, chirping at the refs. That's a very odd call.
Yeah, I don't like that call. That should have been delay game.
I mean, unless he's talking the top of the boards, but it was nowhere near the top of the glass.
Not that I saw.
Oh.
Man, it's all right. They still got a minute 16 of power play time going into the third period, so I'm not totally upset about the non-call there.
Fresh ice.
Fresh ice.
Yes, fresh ice. Fresh ice indeed. All right, boys, let's wrap this up with the shootout. Tonight's shootout being brought to you by Alonzi Travel, specializing in creating the vacation of your dreams at Disney, Universal, or wherever your heart calls, maybe even Aruba. Let their talented team of travel experts create a custom vacation for you without any of the stress. Tell them A2D Radio sent you. Alonze, let's go. AlonzeTravel.com/take the trip. So, boys, you know what? You wrote these, Brian, so I want you to introduce these.
I don't even remember what ones I did. I'm not
even
going to sit here and lie to you.
Oh, boy.
It's get to that hour.
It's been...
Teddy, now do you understand why we're not going into the third period? We're all dead. We're all dead here. We'll be in the chat, though. We'll be in the chat, man. I'll stay in the YouTube chat.
Okay.
We'll let it kick to the after the live comments.
Okay, hang on. Give me a second here, boys. It's been.
I got him up. I got him up if you want me to. I can do it, Brian.
Yeah, I might need you to, because what I was going to use was our Facebook post, but they didn't post them on here. They just posted the shootout. So
yeah, no,
so,
I got you,
my man.
For best game of the week, that can always be tricky. Now, are you saying the best game that you watched this past week leading up to tonight, or the one you're looking forward to this week? What was your aim there?
So my aim here was what we're looking forward to. Just kind of want to preview some of the bigger games this week, and maybe pick out the ones that we like best to kind of be like, you'll go watch this game. This is why for this, and this, and kind of want to go more towards promoting some of the other games around the league.
Such as, what is one game for you, sir?
So one game for me is, what's today? Today's the 13th.
Yes.
Thursday there was a game that had my eye. Come on.
Me too.
Rangers and Leafs.
Oh.
Actually, yeah, that was one of them.
At the Garden.
Yeah, so that was one of them. Rangers and Leafs. Obviously, Rangers are one of the more hotter teams right now, winning their last 4 games, starting to really show the turnaround that
I've personally
been expecting.
I've been worried about them, but they finally are getting it together now.
Yeah, and then the Maple Leafs, who are really starting to put it together, and goaltending starting to come together with them as well. Sans not having a shutout tonight. I'm not over that yet, and I'm not going to be for a little while. But 2 of the top head honchos going into it, a couple cup contenders, going head to head early. Another one I'm looking forward to that night. Kind of a little lesser known, but the Carolina Hurricanes and the Seattle Kraken.
That'll be an interesting one.
Right, and you got 2 teams that don't really have a superstar going at it. 2 teams that are playing really good hockey this year. They're getting production from all 4 lines, playing solid defense, moving forward, getting good goaltending when they need it. this I think is going to be one of the more under the radar games to watch, but I think this could have a lot of potential to be a barn burner of the game on Thursday night.
I like it. I like it. One of my matches that I'm really looking forward to. I mean, I was looking forward to tonight's game that has transpired now, the Stars Devils game, and it did turn out to be a pretty damn good game. We talked about that earlier tonight. Devils now losers of 3 in a row. Hurrah. But for Thursday's schedule of games, please excuse me if you did mention this. I was writing back someone, but I'm looking forward to the Preds Jets game.
I did not.
Yeah, I mean, Jets. I talk about one of the surprise teams this year. I believe they're leading the Pacific now.
No, I believe Vegas is leading the Pacific.
Oh no, I mean, I'm sorry, Central. I said that's what I meant to say. Pardon me.
Oh no, Central is still Dallas, but Winnipeg's the second by 2 points.
Gotcha. Yeah, Jets. Yeah, but they've been teetering with the Stars now leap into first place with tonight's victory. Jets did have that distinction, but either way, 18-9-1 on the season, playing really good hockey. Predators too. I think it's going to be a really good matchup. Teams match up well. Definitely a game I'm going to be tuning into.
No, and Winnipeg is one of those teams where they don't have a captain, so you see a bunch of guys starting to step up and play a little bit harder. Kyle Connor's really starting to find his groove for the season. Mark Scheifele's playing his game. Blake Wheeler doing his thing. Defensively, they've been really good. They're getting some solid goaltending from the duo of Connor Hellebuck and David Riddick. So this is a team that is just, in my opinion, playing par for the course for the team that they are now.
They're a solid team now. Winnipeg. Mm-hmm. You got to give them a lot of credit.
Absolutely.
So you got the Stars and the Hurricanes on Saturday night. That's going to be one heck of a game. Obviously, for me, the Rangers and the Leafs are the game I'm looking forward to.
Sure.
That to me is going to be a really good test for the Rangers to see just how far they've come since this winning streak started. They had a real big win last night, coming from 2 goals behind and taking the Islanders in overtime. That was a huge win for them. We'll see. That's going to be a fun game on Thursday night. I'm looking forward to it. But again, if I'm looking for a game that doesn't involve my team, Stars and Canes is going to be a good game.
There's going to be a bunch of good games on Thursday night.
Oh yeah, I think the Islanders and the Islanders are out in Vegas. That should be an interesting game.
Yeah, I thought about talking about that one too. I mean, yeah, that's going to be a great slate to play come Thursday night for DFS.
No, absolutely. And even if you want to go into Friday night, I think that 9:00 game between St. Louis and Calgary, you're going to be able to find some good ones too.
Right.
That should be a fun game to watch for sure. Oh, I remember what I did for the next one. It's all coming back to me now, Rob. It's all coming back to me now.
Yeah. It's all coming back to me. That's not going to get you good comments.
Probably not. I get bad comments as it is. All right, so everybody went for the game of the week. Everybody got their votes on. All right, cool.
Yep.
All right, so moving on here in the shootout, one of the things I wanted to talk about was your confidence level in Carter Hart. Now I know the team hasn't been playing all that great in front of them, and that's pretty much a given at this point. But I still think Carter Hart is having a really solid year. So for me, my confidence level for him, I'm so confident in his ability. We have to remember still that he's still a young kid. He's coming into age 24, I believe, next year. I think he'll be 24. Either way, he's still a young goaltender, still has a lot of room to grow. And I see people saying that this team could never win Stanley Cup for Carter Hart. I get the negativity right now, but you got to remember this is still a rebuilding team. A lot of people are saying blow it up. I'm saying just kind of blow it half up, because there's still some talent in this organization. Just got to fill the pipeline a little bit. I think you just get some young talent in here. I think this team will be fine. I think they got some really good vets that can still lead and help develop some of this young talent. But for me, it's you gotta continue to support this kid and play some good defense in front of him. I know you're not going to get 100% every game, but you got to play at least. You got to support him as much as you can, and you got to start taking some of these rebounds away again. You leaving some of these guys still open on the front end, front of the crease. It's creating some scoring chances here, letting guys squeak by you, and then pretty much having a partial breakaway, scoring goals that way. You just got to support Carter Hart a little bit more. My confidence in him is still sky high. But to me, the defense just has to play better, and they got to support him better in the front, and it's got to be a little bit more consistent. And once they find it, they'll be fine.
I like it. I like it a lot. Brad, what's your confidence level?
I mean, it's still he is still young. So and it takes a goalie 3-4 years to really get into his groove. You don't see goalies just popping into the league very often. At his age and being an all-star. I mean, really the only goalie I can really think of that just came in right away and just rocked everybody's world was Brodeur. Other than him, most guys it takes a few years for them to really get themselves, and it also you need to be on a good team too. I mean, a goalie is only as good as his defense. If his defense is constantly giving up high scoring opportunities, a scoring opportunities all the time. I mean, you can't expect them to stop everything. It's not going to happen when it continues. And if there's a lot of shots, you're going to wear out the goalie too. I mean, it's not easy if your goalie is facing 35, 40 shots a game. That's, he's bound to let a couple of bad ones in if you give up too many shots like that.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of his stats right now real quick. I mean, he's on pace to let up about a similar amount of goals that he let up last year. Let up 137 on 1,400 shots. He's about at that halfway point again in shots allowed and goals allowed at 684 and 62 goals allowed through 22 games so far this season.
So what's his save percentage right now?
His save percentage right now is a 909.
Yeah, you want to try to get it around 920.
Right.
That's if you can get it to 920, that's really solid. 909 is okay. Considering the defense you guys have out there right now, you'd really like to see it get to about 920. You can get it to 920, it means you're playing really good defense in front of them.
Yeah, that's where it was a little earlier in the season, Brad. But games like we saw on Sunday where he gives up 5 goals allowed on 29 shots, good for an 828 save percentage. That drags that number down a little bit. And that performance fueled a lot of people in the Flyers Nation group to start up the Carter Hart sucks, get rid of Hart talk. I started seeing that come again, and it's such foolish talk. I mean,
how many goals were bad goals though?
There were 2 bad goals in the game.
2 soft goals. All right. Look, how many shots did the Coyotes have?
29.
That's not a lot. Yeah, I mean, look. They obviously it was probably a sloppy game, and and when the game's sloppy like that, that's going to happen.
Yeah, it was a 3-3 game, solid game going into the third period. I believe the Coyotes took the lead. Flyers tied it up late to send it to overtime. But it's that, he gave up the goal, I think, with like 20-something seconds left to go in overtime.
That's a rough one. That's a rough one.
Right.
And I did mention that, the Coyotes are a team that they have to try to beat. Those are the ones you don't want to see them lose against. Whether they're and no offense, Brian, but if the Flyers are playing like teams like the Ducks or some of the teams that are struggling right now, the Blackhawks, the Blue Jackets, you want to see them win games against teams like that.
Absolutely.
Those are the games. Yeah, it's a bad it's a bad look. That's kind of what I mean by those kind of games. You those are teams you want to beat.
No, absolutely. I'm totally with you too. I mean, to build off of what Robbie was saying here, it's tough when you're giving up a hat trick to one of the better under the radar scorers in the league, and especially when one of them was a bad turnover.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Keller's a good player. I'm not downing Keller, but you can't let a guy like that score 3 goals against you, though. That's and again that's part of the thing with the Flyers. They don't really have a checking line either, and that kind of just that makes it all the tougher. But again, once you get your team ready and you get your players that you want on your team and you're set, you can have a set lineup. That's kind of, I guess that comes last, right? When you're building a team, having a checking line to at least slow down a team, the other team's top players.
I'd say so.
That's kind of what your third. That's kind of what your third and fourth line are supposed to do.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So
for sure, but I mean, they had that a bit. When you had, McEwen playing strong, Sedlick, coming out of nowhere, playing well. A couple other waiver guys like a Bellows, but I mean that wound up flopping. But once those guys started dragging down, you had that lack of checking line. You can see that dip in the production. But when it comes to Carter Hart, honestly, just to address this all to these people,
leave him alone.
Yeah, please leave him alone. I mean, if you want to do it like a confidence level out of 10, like you'd see, like, when you're making picks, my confidence level on Carter Hart is 9.9999999999999 out of 10.
Yeah,
I have no lack of confidence in Carter Hart.
You got to give the guy a chance.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a young goalie. He is your future. Where are you going to get a better goalie than him right now? Who is it that you want to get that's better than him? That's available.
There's no one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, there may be goalies better than him, but you're not going to get them. Teams don't give up their goalies for nothing.
Plus,
and the Flyers would be foolish to trade him.
Oh yeah, that'd be 100%. A typical like Philly thing to do, though. Before player match rates. You know what I mean? I get it. That's why I don't want this talk to lead to anything that fuels a movement like that. And then all of a sudden, you see him getting ousted like Carson Wentz was. I mean, that turned out to be the right decision for the Philadelphia Eagles. Be the absolutely wrong decision for the Philadelphia Flyers.
Exactly.
I mean. And plus, if we ever get him back from Russia, you do have Fedotov in the organization.
Well, there's always a chance. There's always a chance they could let him go.
Yeah, I mean,
everybody remember as that one wrestler Ted DiBiase used to say, "Everybody's got their price."
Everybody's got their price.
Yep.
One of the greatest heels of all time.
Yes, but boy, that was the perfect line. Everybody has their price. He's absolutely right. Everybody has a price.
That's right.
So
I have a comment, but I'm going to keep it to myself.
Yeah, well, we don't want to go there. I have a feeling I know what that might be. You don't want to go there. No.
Maybe it could be your hot take, but we'll get into our hot take so we can wrap this up, boys.
Yes.
Okay, so the hot take. Yeah. Oh, sorry, my bad.
No. I was just gonna say, anyone want to lead it off? Go for it, brother.
Oh my God, I need to go to bed.
Yes.
All right, so my hot take is going to be, I think we see a trade this week. And I think it's going to involve the Edmonton Oilers. Maybe not necessarily it involves any of the teams that we talked about, but Edmonton needs to make a move here defensively because they're hurting. I'm not sold on that defense. I haven't been sold on that defense in years, and I'm definitely not sold on Darnell Nurse, especially after what Jordan Greenway was saying last night. So I think we see Edmonton make a move. I think they make a move for a defenseman. But I don't think it's a major splash. I think that's going to wait until the deadline. But I do think Edmonton makes a move for a defenseman. That's my hot take for the week.
Nice. Anything on your mind, Brad?
Yeah, Rangers increased their winning streak this week to 6 games.
Homer hot take. I love it.
Yeah, well, that's that means they would beat the Leafs and somebody else on Saturday night, but we're not gonna push the issue about that. We're gonna play nice. You know,
That's always a game I look forward to.
We'll treat you guys the way your Eagles treated our Giants.
Oh, oof.
Except the only problem is you'll beat us up, so we can't be too bad because we don't have Reeves anymore because we're retarded and we trade our one good fighter. So now we'll get the crap beat out of us every game because Trouba is not going to be the one to beat up anybody right now.
Colorado 12-2-0 when leading after 2 periods. I believe it said Flyers were 1-9-0, trailing after 2 periods. So we'll see if this bucks the trend.
It's only 2-1.
Yeah, definitely even up game. Like I said, I'll stick around the YouTube chat for Ted and all the fools that are still watching the game. Definitely join us there. Last to round up the show, I'm going to give my hot take of the week. We talked about him a little bit during the show. Talked about him a lot of it, actually. Alex Ovechkin. Ovi is the best goal scorer of all time, regardless if he passes Gretzky or not.
I dig it because you know what? There's a lot of truth behind that because he's of all the records that he's broken 2 of the hardest ones.
Right.
And then he's went after the 3rd hardest. Well, in my opinion, it's really the 1st hardest, but it's the top 3 of the hardest.
Scoring goals, scoring that many goals is the hardest.
Mm-hmm. And he has empty net goals. He has that record now.
Yep.
Which he took from Gretzky. He took Gretzky's record for road goals.
Yep.
And he's still piling on to that one. So, yeah, no, I'm with you, Robbie, on that one.
Yeah, maybe we see number 800 tonight.
Possible.
God, I hope not.
Possible. He may. Who knows? Maybe he'll tie out tonight. He's got 2 more to go to tie out, guys.
He does. I don't even want to think about that. Yeah. Because I'm going to hear about it. My friend, one of my best friends is a Capitals fan, and all she's in awe, and she loves every bit of what's going on there, and I don't blame her at all. All right, boys, let's wrap this.
All right, guys.
Let's wrap this up.
Yep.
Definitely. Got 2-1, 17 minutes, 20 seconds left to go in the 3rd period. I'm going to jump into the YouTube chat. Anybody wants to join us, we can go switch over from the live chat after the video process. We'll have the chat there ready to talk. It's instantaneous. But for Brian Daly, Brad Ryer, Frank Vespi on the 1s and 2s, I'm Rob Povia. Good night. Thanks for joining us as always. We'll catch you next week here on a2dradio.com.